Now look at them yo-yos, expats, that's the way you do it. Get off the airplane and sweat all day, that ain't working, that's the way you do it. Money for life or nothing, and your chicks for free, now that ain't working, that's the way you do it. Let me tell you, those expats with a wallet ain't dumb. Maybe get a few beers later. Maybe go out vlogging all day and get a nap ladder. We got a toilet low to the ground, guaranteed to break your knees. We got girls all day and cheap hotels for weeks. What can go wrong? I want my easy life. I want these girls to be my bride. See the little guy with the earring and the makeup? Yeah, buddy, that's his own hair. That little guy got claims he owns a jet airplane. That little wallet man is 4 kids and a wife back in America. We got a toilet low to the ground, guaranteed to break your knees. We got girls all day and cheap hotels for weeks. What can go wrong? I want my easy life. I want these girls to be my bride. Look here, look out. I should've learned to save my money. I should've learned more on being a YouTuber from other than Old Dog and that guy named Mike. Look at that Filipino young one, she got it sticking in the camera for the old vlogging man, banging on the bongos like a girl on Walking Street in a go-go bar, that red street. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing, get your chicks for free. We got a toilet low to the ground, guaranteed to break your knees. We got girls and cheap hotels for weeks. What can go wrong?
Good morning, guys. That's pretty much what was going on right
Good
before
morning,
we
guys. How
opened
you
this
guys doing
live.
today?
Good morning, guys.
Wait, what? Did I miss something?
Yeah, you're complaining about traffic and being at the family house and all this
Actually,
other
I'm
stuff.
not. It's the
So,
reverse, but okay.
well, I'm just saying. Anyways, guys, good morning.
Actually, it's the reverse. I literally just said I don't complain about traffic.
Gotcha.
Literally. And the reason why I brought that up is because that's one of the things you have to deal with.
Hi,
What I'm
Sarah.
saying is I'm used to it since I was born and raised here, regardless of what you guys think. No, traffic is actually today. I was thinking like, damn, like, cause I went to go to the pharmacy today and pick up some meds, and it's no big secret. Here's actually one of the med packs, and I had to go through stop and go traffic, and in my head I was like, you know what? I bet you Filipinos don't complain about this because they're born and raised with it. What I'm saying is also today, for example, some of you guys complain about tricycles. And the reason I brought this up is because tricycles, when you drive here in the Philippines, they drive about 10 kilometers, not miles per hour. They drive 10 kilometers per hour on the highway. And Jiminy Crickets, it ticks you off. Well, it kind of irritates me, yeah. But what I'm saying is, you guys have to realize that is this is their speed, and I'm not being facetious or anything. What I'm saying is, to them, 15 kilometers per hour is fast. Get it?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, 15 kilometers per hour to them, it's fast enough. And I'm like, well, I guess if you're born and raised in that 15 kilometer per hour
He's
thing,
tricycle in the left lane.
yeah.
He's saying,
Yeah, no,
yes.
no. See, that's what I'm saying. And I was actually thinking that because I was right behind a tricycle today going to the pharmacy, and I'm like, I hate to say this, but if you're born and raised at 15 kilometers per hour, let me reiterate that that's the equivalent of like 12.8 12 kilometers per hour, 12 miles per hour. Drive that 12 miles per hour right now. 12 miles per hour in your car. Trust me, you're gonna go bonkers. But what I'm saying is, since Filipinos are born and raised in that speed or lack thereof, it's gonna drive you nuts.
Yeah. All right, guys, it'll be very interesting today.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. This has been a 3-part series for one of those YouTubers that like to use these expats as I call it expose or as a full documentary to collect funds for them, to collect funds for themselves. And he just released a 3rd part to it. And we have discussed covering this guy's story because he's a veteran and because he's an American. And at first, the first 2 things we watched the story, and I think we even mentioned it because the guy claims he works for the actual local barangay, which is still a government position in any way, city, whatever. It's still something within the Philippine government, which is a no-no for expats. And we're like, and we passed off the stories until he came back through and said that he officially is no longer working and he officially is broke. So his salary of $4 a
Wait.
day is officially gone.
We'll go around back to this, but wait, did he get fired from his position?
He said when the new government came in other words, when the last election, the guy said that he's not keeping old people in the position there out in the province. But he goes, but he kept everybody else. He
Okay,
got rid of
well,
me. So
I do have an answer to all of this, so we'll go around back to
I'm
it.
surprised he even had the position
And-
because
well, actually, this is actually part of the subject, but they're doing a cleansing of positions, but it's not what you think.
yeah, but when it comes down to the barangay part
just
of it,
said-
they had the right to.
I understand.
But
I just said we'll go around.
He's
back to it.
officially
We'll go around back to it.
stating that he kept other Filipinos. It was a Filipino thing. I'm like, dude, you're a foreigner. You're one, you ain't even supposed to be in the position. 2, it's not even clarified that he's even got a work permit to work, although he slightly was mentioned by the vlogger. He may or may not have a 13A, but he's totally out of status anyway. So he doesn't have an active passport, which in order to renew your ACR card for a 13A, you would have to have an active passport to go in. He admitted for almost 19 years since he's entered the country, which I don't know how. He must come in with 6 months left on it. So he doesn't have anything. And first off, the guy's name is Victor. Let me bring up
Victor.
the video that we actually have. And thank you for your service, 100%. If everything that you and this other vlogger is saying is true.
Wait, what? He has a shirt with his name on it?
They gave it to him there.
Okay.
There's a lot to this. We've seen this. We've seen this guy. There was 2
No,
other
I've seen it
videos
before,
done.
but I didn't know his name actually is on the shirt.
The local barangay captains and whoever the official was made him a shirt. Remember, he was at an outpost and he was directing traffic.
No,
and I'm like,
I get it. And
right.
again, I have answers to that, but
okay.
Go ahead.
So the deal is that he claims he was in the army for 16 years. During whatever war was going on, I am going to pretend somewhere in the, I thought he said late 80s, 90s or something, but whatever war this dude was in, he said that the president got rid of a bunch of military and that he didn't get anything of anything and pretty much just left. He said that he went on to Dubai to be a contractor and that he made a bunch of money there, and that's where he met his Filipina. And I believe he said Dubai. It might have been Saudi. Again, I've only watched part of it this morning. There's 3 videos.
Either or is possible, yeah.
Okay, so he was in the Middle East as a contractor. He then took 6 million pesos and they went back to America for a short period, and then he married her in America. He got married to a Filipina. This is a lot to remember. He married the Filipina in the U.S., was only there for X amount of time, and then they came to live in the Philippines. But somehow he got caught up in the pussy world. I guess he got caught up in Angeles City, and they lived here in Pampanga for quite a while. So even with the wife, and a moved-in housekeeper. He admitted that with the housekeeper, he had 2 additional children or something. But the guy said he's had rough relationships. Not my problem, dude. But he went on about his positions and how he's had problems with relationships. Well, hell yeah. He's talking about spending thousands a week at Walking Street, admitting that he's doing this on his wife. He's got a mistress that has some kids with him, and that I guess he had some kids back in the US, I thought he had said. But the guy's got a whole lot going on. So he blew through his fortune, but fortunately, he bought her a house, and that's where the ex was living. He's still married to her, he says, legally. So supposedly, this other person that did the story, a vlogger, uh,
Alphabet.
yeah. That the vlogger that's open to GoFundMe for the dude stated that he thought he was on a 13A, but the guy never confirmed. But without a passport and without doing your yearly registrations and then renewing the car every couple years, he's out of status anyways. So, but supposedly he bought her a house, but they're no longer together. She's taken his kids. The housekeeper is working now overseas and got his kids somewhere else. His ex-wife and him aren't really talking, but supposedly the house that he's living in belongs to the mistress's dead mother. So he called her the in-law. So when she passed away, I guess he's living out there. There is nothing to this house, guys. I can't believe the guy is living in some back road. I didn't even see something like this out in the Ozarks. This here for American standard is kind of out there, but he said he doesn't mind because the military has prepared him to live like this. And in the meantime, he's been working for the barangay, calling himself the, I just said what they called him, barangay peacekeeper. Even at one point,
Tanod.
yeah,
Tanod.
basically he's claiming he can even arrest people, which I thought was
Which
hilarious. We'll get into.
I'll get into that.
But he's living out in the middle of BFE, eating rice and fish, saying he lived better than he ever did. One of those, I was military, I can survive, I'm way happier. Good for you.
He might be pescatarian.
Don't even answer that, dude.
What?
I already sent him a
Ignore
message.
him?
I guess you can go get it.
No,
I left
can
him a
ignore
message.
him. I can ignore him. If you said,
Well, go ahead. I did, but if he read the message, he's just going to stand out there. Evidently, he didn't. If he's
then let
on
him
there.
stand out. Heidi, what I'm saying is, Filipinos do work and they deliver to working Filipinos.
Okay. So, all right. So,
Yeah, I know. He'll do that. But we're in the middle of work. I put air quotes on that because technically this is work. But anyway.
okay. So, the guy claims that he's working. I kind of lost where I was on that. The guy claims that he's working for 230 pesos. We already went through this. There's a lot to go through, guys. Basically, it was a 3-part series. Now there's a GoFundMe for him. And the first video, he said he didn't want anything. He's a proud American. He wasn't asking for no money. He stands on his own. By the end of the video, the man asked for money. He said, I need money for nails and wood, around $60, so I can fix this place. And in the meantime, the guy's sitting there smoking. To me, it appears he was liquefied at that point and beerified. But he then is a GoFundMe has been run for him. Money's being collected. Then next video, he was brought some money. By the third video, he said he had to use this money to eat because he no longer is working because he was kicked out of the position. So,
Yeah, is that his house? I mean,
it belongs to a dead mother-in-law, but yes, it's where he's living. That's
Wait,
how
what?
he's living. I just said that. I said that he's got a mistress and had 2 kids, not with his wife,
no.
but with a mistress. And he's been spending money on Walking Street, which means I don't feel sorry. And
He didn't even spend money on this? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just said that, George.
That
I did just say the house belonged to the in-law. No, he hasn't spent any money.
It can belong to the in-law, but he could have spent on it.
He wasted $100,000 US or $6 million, give or take. But it's probably it's about 120,000. I think it's 20 per million or something. He spent it on Walking Street, admitted it, and now he wants this other shady vlogger. And I'm gonna call the dude shady because he is shady. You can see it. That's all he does is go around collect money for these sick dudes that he puts on camera. Okay, and he's been putting them on camera. And now he's got himself another one. Now he's got another GoFundMe, and he's about ready to leave the country. He's literally just made a video about leaving the country. I'm not going to give the guy any credit because I feel he's shady, and I'm not going to say he knows who he is. He's
No,
probably watching now.
I,
But the whole point is he's got another broke American that's down and out, and everybody on these videos say something's not right about the guy's story because he said he wasn't going to apply for Social Security. He's going to live on $4 a day, and he's going to wait. And he said in his 70s. You don't wait till you're 70. The age, let me see, I wrote it down. For him is 66 and 10 months. So he should be able to apply at that point. Okay, but he said that he hasn't. So he's waiting extra to get full when he's living like this. So he could have already applied. He said he was 65, but in the beginning he said he was, according to I entered the Philippines at 45, would have make him about 62. So his story keeps changing. People have called him out in all the videos. In the meantime, this vlogger and another vlogger are collecting money for this guy. And again, if all of it's true and he served the country, he deserves all the blessings. But if you're an idiot and you fucking take 120,000 and you admit you blew it on women and booze, and then you have nothing and you're living like this, and now you're relying on another vlogger, you're another shithead. You see what I mean? He said, "Oh, it was so fun, and I seen all the women and blah blah blah." So he admits to all of this and that, and people are giving him money. There's a couple. See, there's him at the post. This is the first video you've seen. We said we're not even going to get into it because it's political.
okay. First off,
Well, I want to get past the.
okay. Well, why don't you go past this? Then
There wasn't much there, so okay.
Okay. Well, okay. First off, let's breaking things down. Again, hashtag cancel George, because again, I don't want you want me to kind of get off the cuff.
I really don't care, but the hashtag cancel George, they canceled us a long time ago, so fuck them.
Okay, here's the thing. This is not what I wanted to start out with. Okay, first off, the issue I have is in you veterans have okay. I'm talking to the veterans out there in the United States of America specifically. The reason why I brought this up is because first off, the mere fact that okay, I get it. You can be a veteran if you serve for 2 years because that's the minimal contract, correct?
I have no idea.
Again, we're not trying to pretend that we know.
I
Again,
thought when you signed
I
up
believe
for real service, it was 4, not 2. But there may be other ones. I'm not going to pretend.
okay. So, well, yeah, in the beginning, and I wasn't in the service, I wouldn't know, and I'm not pretending that I know.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not crapping
and he
on
said,
the veterans.
yeah, he said
I'm not crapping on the veterans.
he said that when he left, he was a major and he spent 15 years. I thought he said it was during Clinton. He said whatever
Okay,
war in the
it's
Middle
possible,
East.
it's
He
possible.
said that they cut
It's
back on
possible,
military.
but
And he said, and somebody said, no, if you served at least 15 years, they gave all those guys their pension when they were ready to apply. And the guy didn't, he's here in the Philippines and he's been broke and he didn't even apply for that
Okay.
either. So he's got
Now-
2 possibilities of money.
no. I
and he
agree.
hasn't
I agree.
applied.
I
Something's
agree.
wrong with the story.
I agree because I was gonna say that yes, because first off, for those of you who don't, again, I don't give a shit, but I'm just telling the truth. In college, I was an ROTC major, like my rank was major. What I'm saying is, so no, I get it. I get it takes a lot of work to become major. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I agree with what Heidi just said. But what I'm saying is to get to that rank, and there's things that don't add up, and what I'm getting at is, for example, first off, the fact that he states that he doesn't want to get his pension.
Or
Filipino,
Social Security. He says he's
right, right,
holding out for a
right, right,
large
right. No,
amount, but
well, that's what I was getting at. I said that's why I had my hand up because Filipinos call Social Security pension. I'm just letting you guys know pension. That's what Filipinos call Social Security. What I'm saying is, for a U.S. born American, I said U.S. born American. What I'm saying is, if a Filipino was born in the Philippines, they might say, you know, oh, pension. I'm not, babe. What I'm saying is, different countries have different languages. We call it pension. Americans call it, you know, benefits, Social Security. Get it? I'm just clarifying
yeah,
things.
I'm trying to figure it
But
out.
I know that. But what I'm saying is, we're talking about his language. He doesn't want to get his pension. And let me
It
ask
don't make no motherfucking sense. Two
right,
of them.
right.
So he's telling how he
Any
got kicked out
full
of the
blooded
military
American,
and could have got it a
any
long time
full
ago.
blooded American would disagree because they were like, what the
And,
if is wrong with
and just like the person just said a minute ago, how did you blow through that, which is about 120,000 at 6 million pesos? How'd you blow through that when you knew you weren't going to apply? When he arrived almost 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago in the Philippines and hasn't been back, that, oh, by the way, he's a Florida man on
right,
top of
right,
that. I
right.
just want to let you know he's a Florida man, but
And
he has no additional money, but you blew it all on Walking Street quite some time ago. Then you were just going to sit there and be content. And he's like, well,
right.
I got a job at a call center and I did this, and that. But
Now, again, I'm not hating on him. We're not hating on him, but things don't add up.
a lot doesn't add up.
Correct. Now, what I'm trying to establish here, things don't add up at that side. What I'm saying is, if you're a veteran, a lot of you will agree with me. Like, that doesn't make sense. If you're not a veteran, you'll be like, okay,
And
whatever.
especially in
But
this day and age,
okay,
to not
next,
apply for
next.
benefits.
Now let's go to the barangay tanod. Okay.
And
I-
bitches that asked about the donuts, hell yeah, I don't have Krispy Kreme.
Where are
Baked my
they? Where are
I
they?
baked my donuts, and George.
All right, let's have a little intermission. Let's go grab the donuts.
Dun, dun,
No,
dun.
the other donuts too. All right, now Heidi made this bag of donuts. Okay. All right, now she made
And
made
then
these.
funny,
These taste like churros, and these taste like more like your classic donuts, and they're really good, really, really good.
yeah, they're more like cake donuts. But then George came in from picking up medicine today, and he brought additional donuts. But these are
Well,
from
they're not
Mr.
donuts; they're
Donuts.
lollipops.
I'm going to shove it in your ear. But no, the donuts. I told a few of our viewers that
What's
we
up
made
with
the
girls
donuts.
and shoving up stuff in my ear? Seriously, I swear to God.
Because it's the biggest thing on your body, besides your feet.
No, I swear, girls keep shoving stuff in my ear. But anyway,
Yeah, whatever that's
okay,
supposed to mean. So
that's literal.
it
I'm
doesn't.
not even joking. That's literal.
None of this is making sense because there's more information. Because he said he had 2 kids with a housekeeper that he intentionally moved in, knowing it was his kids. Through 2 years, he blew his money, but he did buy the wife that he brought that he got from the Middle East that was Filipina, and then he only stayed a few weeks with her in America. But he is separated from the wife. Like I said, the woman of his children has already went off to back out to get a job or something. Victor says he's from Florida. He's from Orlando. He admits highly to being irresponsible. He's smoking the whole time, constantly smoking. And then he said that the money that was given to him the first time round from this vlogger that he used for food, I'm sure it was for cigarettes and whatever else it was. But every time he has been given money, he spends it somewhere else. He's had some backers. The thing is, honestly, I don't trust the other vlogger. This vlogger's been known to collect money and been known in the past to allegedly not give the money out. Like his people have said, no, he did not give me this money. People come forward to us and said, no, he didn't give us his money. This got to be such a confusing case. We just left this asshole vlogger alone because he's so much of a liar. It's better just not be tangled with him. It's the people he hangs with, and now he's getting ready to leave the country to go to another Asian country where I believe he was born. But this guy, he's got a GoFundMe open. It's open in the vlogger's name, and he's got it set for like California or something. And so he lives somewhere in Asia. He's got the GoFundMe set up in the United States, and he's collecting money for this guy. And the second video, he said there wasn't a lot of money in there, but now there's a couple thousand in there. He'll probably claim it just came in. But I mean, what's this guy going to do? Because he's saying Q is, I just said it. The actual vlogger said that that he's going to need to spend at least a month in Manila to take care of all this. And actually, it's not. He also went on about the banking, and none of the stories seem right about the banking. He said that there was a benefactor that was going to give him $500 that was needed to open up a bank for Social Security deposit, which is a lie. I just had one set up a few months ago. It was 3,000 pesos. Actually, they would have took 2,000. I think they were willing to take 1,000 to open it up at the Philippine National Bank. He also said there were only specific banks that they could do it with, which is not true. As long as you turn the banking in, it could all be done. I did everything online except for arrive at the bank, and he's got to at least go to the bank. But the guy's living out in bumfuck Egypt, so it's like he wants help but not help. He says he's standing on his own, but he's not standing on his own, and there's something not right. I mean, could he be making up the story about his military? It's hard saying. It's really, because why wouldn't a man that was in the war, or a person that's going on about being a lieutenant and then he was a major and how he was a big contractor and all of this, okay, allegedly, and if it is true, why the fuck wouldn't you apply for your benefits, man? Why would
Like I
you
said,
wait to get
any
anything, one or
full-blooded
the other?
American would argue with that. Yes.
Anybody from Europe, anybody. I don't think it takes even a Filipino to be like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I wouldn't say Europeans.
But we're
'cause they
talking about a
wouldn't
man
know.
that blew all that money on Walking Street. He said he got in on an airplane with his wife. Like, I guess she'd come back. He went back and forth. Okay, so here's another miscommunication. He said that he never left the Philippines. But then he said, every time I came back into the Philippines, okay, he said he came straight here and hasn't left in almost 20 years. He said when he'd come in on, maybe he just meant from Cebu to Angeles. He said he just told his family to go on, and he was going on to Walking Street right in front of his wife. And I'm like, well, if that's the way she wants it, it's kind of crazy. But you don't need 500 to open up an account, okay? 500 US dollars. You need the account. There, it has to be set up specifically for deposits, and you sign something with them. But here's the thing, you have to have your Social Security first. It's not a joint thing. Here in the Philippines, you have to prove you have Social Security, and you have to deposit. But here's the thing, his ACR is not up to date. He hasn't paid immigration. He already said that. So if his ACR and 13A status is out and he has no passport to go in and do that, which he admitted, then he's lying about something. He was caught on that. You have to have an active ACR, no ACR without a passport. He doesn't have a passport. The vlogger stated he hasn't had one since he's entered the country. He entered the country and he hasn't had one since. So the whole thing is you can't do any of the above. He can go in and apply for Social Security, and he needs to apply for a passport, but they're asking for money for him to stay in town for a month. So, you know, I watched the movie, it is a movie. We watched the 3 videos. George got to see some of it. He was out for the medication and the donut pops.
Okay.
He's in northern Cebu. He said it takes 3 hours to get there. He says he's healthy with no health conditions. Let's see. Yeah, things are just not adding up. He came in July of 06. And I guess the passport, of course, hasn't been valid since probably pretty much 6 months in.
So just real quick, again, I've said this before in previous lives, and I will always assume that you guys don't follow us throughout every live or video. The reality is, can you open up a bank account Yes. Who is in charge of opening a bank account? Normally, it takes two signatures: the bank manager and the assistant bank manager. It takes two signatures to get you an account in a bank. Okay. That being said, as long as those two signatures are there, you can open a bank account. They don't. It doesn't matter if your credentials are written on a piece of chalkboard. Point being, I'm trying to make is, as long as there are two signatures, you're good. That being, what I'm trying to make is can you technically get a bank account? Yes. However, heads are gonna roll, it's gonna be the bank manager and the assistant bank manager's head's gonna roll. What I'm saying is it possible? Yes.
Not
Will it
without a
probable?
passport and an
Keyword.
ACR. He
No,
doesn't have any of the
it's
above.
possible. That's what I'm trying to say. However, is it probable? I'm not talking about semantics here. I'm not talking about pedantics. Point being is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? No. What I'm saying is, what are the odds? Odds are no. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
the
getting
guy.
at.
Yeah. So you're
But
saying there's a small
there
possibility.
is a minuscule possibility. Yes, it's
Well, he hasn't
possible.
done any of the above. He's
Again,
talking out his
I'm not
ass
talking
right
about
now.
my opinion because this is not an opinion. This is fact.
No, just the fact that you're always saying there's always a possibility. I
I
appreciate that,
know
but he's full of
that, but I'm
shit.
telling you the
I'm telling you, in the real world of the Philippines,
Heidi,
I
this
doubt
is
it's
not
gonna
about
happen.
me. This is about facts. I have nothing to do with it. The fact is,
Well,
all
they
it
sure the
takes
fuck
is
wasn't gonna give me one.
all it takes is two signatures to get it done. I have nothing to do with it. I'm not a bank manager. Never have been. Point being is, all it takes is two bank managers to sign on that
And
piece
I'm
of paper.
saying what bank manager here
I
in this
understand
area,
that, and I
or
just
when he
said,
arrives in Cebu, would
and
give
I
him with no
just said,
documents, not
is
even
it?
the Social Security yet.
And I just said, is it probable? In all
Okay.
probability, no.
Okay.
But in a minuscule
Fact,
chance, is it possible? Yes.
He's got a long path. I understand.
I get it. I get it. I get it. Again, don't attack me. Even you guys out there. Don't go. Why do you think I come up with cancel George? Because again,
Okay.
has nothing to do with George. Fact is, I know how things work in the Philippines, regardless of what you guys think. For example, him working at a barangay tanod. This is part of the discussion. The barangay tanod, which is again the barangay guard. Okay. How much does he get paid?
$4 a day.
Okay.
230
Okay.
pesos, which is half of
To clarify,
$4 a day.
how much do barangay tanods get paid a day? I actually didn't convert it to dollars because I think in pesos now, not in dollars anymore. Okay, the
And-
average barangay tanod gets paid a month, not a day. Okay, again, I'm clarifying. I haven't converted this. Tells you most of this stuff is live right now. Like right now, I didn't even do any of that shit. The average money that a barangay tenant gets paid a month is 1,700 pesos to 2,000 pesos a month.
Okay.
A month.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
No. Point being is, most of the time, barangay tanads, it's not a full-time job. These are not real police. And the reason why I'm saying that it's not a full-time job, they're not real police, is because Heidi said something interesting today, that it allows him to arrest.
He did say that. Yes, he said
Filipino
that he had,
citizens.
and I'm like, how is that?
You are not allowed to arrest Filipino citizens. You are allowed to detain Filipino citizens. Two big giant differences of the coin. Not the same thing.
And you're not that. According to the Philippine sites and their statutes, there is no foreigner that is to be put into those positions, not even the one he claims he's in.
Okay.
So whoever did that locally,
Well,
I'm sure the rest of the government wouldn't
there's
appreciate it if they
something
found
that
out.
the Filipinos call that. And like I said, I have answers for all of this. And I didn't research it because I already know. Okay, first off, just so you guys know, on average,
Yeah, he said he works 10-hour days,
if somebody gets
$4.
paid 1,700, 1,700
Casual
pesos
employee of
a month,
the
okay,
local
that's
barangay.
$425 a week, and to convert to current dollars right now, it's $7 a week. So first off, when I first heard,
Yeah, which is $1 a day, not 4.
right,
So he's
when I
claiming he's
first
getting
heard this
paid more.
story, I was like,
He's basically watching an
bullshit.
output.
No,
right.
no. First time I heard this story, I was like, bullshit. Point being, no, I already knew. I was like, okay, whatever. But anyway, I'm not a hater. I've never have been. But what I'm saying is, even at the higher rate, no,
He
no,
should use some of that GoFundMe to update his immigration. Yeah, he's got a long
right.
way to go. So the thing is this started this story with this vlogger. It's a 3-part series, like the other one he used at 8-9, kind of like when old dog did that sick expat. He did so many of them, got so many views. This vlogger does the exact same thing. Basically, instead of slum vlogging, it's based all on the homeless collecting and doing things, and most of these guys aren't taxed
Well,
right. They're
just
not doing things
remember,
right. They're
most
not
of the
set up
money
to
they
work in the
collect doesn't
Philippines.
go to the person they're helping.
Correct. So the GoFundMe is in this vlogger's name, and I think it's up to a couple thousand US. But he's claiming that he would have to stay in Manila for like a month or two to solve this, and it doesn't take all that. It takes effort and to sit down and apply yourself. Get off the goddamn cigarettes and alcohol. Stop spending it on women. Stop this, stop that, and all the things that he did. And I can't believe he ran himself in the ground where he's making $4 a day and working 10 hours, and now he hasn't even had a job for a while. And he has no, of course, no running water out there. He goes on about going out back and picking up his water out of the well, and he goes through all that stuff. Good for him that military in his life had brought him to this point, and he's so happy to be like that. I get it and everything. But now this dude is down to that, and basically, in my opinion, is definitely asking for help. At first, he said he wasn't. Then he asked for something at the end. Then he didn't use the money, used it for food, continued to work, and now he just outright needs money. He's got a lot to take care of. And then, of course, everybody's opinion, go get a ticket from the embassy, go do this, go do that. But then he says, hey, it's 4 hours away. I'm living out in the middle of nowhere. That's nobody's fault. But at that point, that would be the point to probably be homeless. I mean, if you're living out there, basically, you're technically homeless. Yeah, at least there's a roof over your head and you got water. But the deal is if you can't even make it in to take care of your money issues and you can't take anything legal to get out, what's he just going to sit there? It's kind of all of it is just going around in a circle, and it's quite crazy. But I would say half the comments are calling the guy out. There's something not right. You talking about the way you had your military, you going through all that money, and you talking about, like Black Grandpa said, it's hard to feel sorry for a guy like that had no self control, because you bitches would be saying the same thing about me. If in 6 months I turn belly up in a hospital, you guys would be like, oh, that fucking Heidi was eating donuts. That's her fucking fault. We're not going to help her. She should have done this instead of we seen her at McDonald's a year ago. And so you bitches would, they would. They would turn on me in 2.2 seconds. This military shit, I don't know. But if he had all that, why hasn't he applied? Why hasn't he applied for Social Security?
No,
And the banking
that's a
thing.
big
What's
question.
this lie about $500 that this X
No,
Factor
no such
person
thing.
is
No,
going to
I'm
open
telling you
up
right
an
now,
account for
no
him?
such
That's a
thing.
lie.
There's no such thing as you require $500.
Now, if you're
Fact,
in the US,
in the Philippines, there's no such thing.
if you're in the US, and what is it not, what bank is in the US that it's not Metro? There's a Philippine bank, Philippine National.
Even there.
No, that military couple did have to put 500 down in New York or something. They
Well,
had to go to another area, and they did request that they had that. But that was, I forgot which bank, but that was why they were in the US.
well, I guess they
And it might have been a combination
they
of,
probably upped it. I mean, it was used to be 300.
okay, well, I don't know if that was a combination for their accounts, but that I can see. So everything was off, not only on the vlogger, but actually on the guy. And it just, and he admits to being irresponsible. So yeah, I think the people are getting tired of the broke expats arriving. Okay. They're out there banging everything. Okay. The Filipinas are getting tired of it. I just seen a Filipina that was bitching about the expats. Don't think you could come here and put your hands on us. Don't think that you're going to get this or because we're broke.
That.
Oh, well, you didn't have to.
What do you mean? I mean,
That?
yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Anyway, so the Philippine is going on about that. And thank you.
Yeah, sorry. But it's not in that top anymore.
Yeah, I get that. Point is, guys, is that this is where these expats are coming here and they're not finding a way out of their problems. I believe this happens in a lot of places, but I believe it's happening way more here in the Philippines than anywhere. And here's another guy that had no backup plan. When did he think he was going to apply for benefits? He was really going to wait 20 years on 100,000 US dollars? Even think about that. And he had kids and moved in a housekeeper and intentionally brought his kids into the factor. So the whole thing is when he arrived 20 years ago, he brought in give or take 100,000 US. That's what he was going to live on with no job, no nothing. And even now, I think, well, he's old enough now to apply for the one benefit, but it's just
Okay.
really messed up.
So just real quick again. L- Again, guys, again, I'm talking about logic. I know the way how things work here. Well, even in the US too. But what I'm getting at is
Hi,
okay.
Laura. Good morning.
Now he claimed, okay, again, I'm not denying this, that he worked for the barangay town.
Hey, Slick Rick.
Okay. He claimed
He's
that
got
he
a shirt, so I mean,
no
I'll
no
believe it
no
at
no
this
no no.
point.
Again, I'm not denying that. This is where I'm getting at. Okay. First off, he was having hard times and he worked for the barangay town. Okay.
Yes, 20 years to get a pension. Yes.
Okay. So what I'm getting at is, okay, did he work for the barangay town? As Heidi said, he has a shirt with his name on it with barangay town. I I'm not denying it. I'm not arguing with it. So just real quick, again, Heidi, does he still work there?
No, I said that
Why?
earlier. Because when they switched through on the elections, the new person came in, said he's going to use his own people, which sounds about right.
Okay. Now there's two things that are have somewhat true to that. Okay, I said somewhat true because again, that makes sense. It's logical normally when there's a, a new council member, a new barangay captain, they bring in their own people. I get it. Okay. Now, what does that tell you? One, that if first off, there's something called like an NCO or well, this is my language, okay, not necessarily their language. I'm talking about my language. There's something called like a non-commissioned officer. What's a NCO? Okay, people in the military know what I'm talking about. Okay, NCOs are not. They're not really classified as officers. What I'm getting at is this is a good example of an NCO. Um, they're not non-coms. That's another short term. Okay, non-coms means they're non-commissioned, and to make it more known to what it means, it's hard to translate, but the most common translation I find in the English language is would be like a deputy. No, not the deputy sheriff as you think, but the deputy sheriff back then. You guys ever watch those old western like I deputized you. McIntyre here is a badge. Okay, that's deputy, right? In the old school way. Okay, to translate it to the new version, when you get deputized, um, there is no paperwork. You are not really a sheriff. You're a deputy. I put air quotes on that. And the reason why I put air quotes on that is when they say, you're a tanod. You're a tanod. Get it? It's the
According to
same.
him, he took some sort of
I,
class or some
right.
sort
No,
of
no, 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 no.
test
I'm
to
not. I'm
get.
not denying any of that.
He's not
But
supposed to be in the position to begin with, according to the actual government. And
I,
the embassy said, don't
I,
get involved in any of that shit. And
I
here he is
get
working for
that.
him.
I'm explaining to the people what the most feasible answer is. Is again, I'm
They're
not.
desperate.
Not necessarily. It's, I wouldn't call.
Maybe they're just helping him because
Correct.
he's an
Thank you.
American.
Correct. So it's kind of
Ah.
like offering somebody a job without getting into trouble. Okay.
Which I guess I would want a
Right.
chance
It's
if
kind of
I'm
like,
out in the middle
well,
of
I
there
can't
too. I'd
pay
want
you that this
something, but I
much,
know it's
but this
not
is what we'll pay
doable.
you, and are you okay with that? Okay. Here we go. Okay. Then I deputize you, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Point being is, did he work for the town? I don't doubt it, to be honest with you, but it's not of what like what I'm
Because they
saying
pretty
is
much do what they want in those areas, even if it is against the main
now
government.
now here's the issue.
Because they're not supposed to unless they're Filipino. So something went awry. The positions are to be filled
There's a
by
lot of
Filipinos.
things. There's a lot of things that may have gone awry, and not necessarily because there's a new captain. Right now, there's a new ombudsman who's in charge of making sure that the Philippine government is clean. Okay. Again, I'm not take it as you were. Point being is the Philippine government is being audited right now. That includes from the top to bottom, including the LGUs.
Okay, I want to get into some of these comments. I didn't want
I
it to
under,
be about. I figured this is
I
where this
understand
would go
that,
today.
but
That's why we didn't cover it the
what I'm
first time
trying
because
to
the
say
first two videos was
is
about him working
they're
there, but now he's
cleaning
officially.
the Philippine government right now. I wasn't gonna go deep into it, but point being is because of certain things that happen in the Philippine government, they're cleaning house and they're
Yeah,
making
that's
sure
true.
everybody's being audited. If you're involved in the Philippine government, that includes the LGUs. That's where I was getting at. And guess what? If you're a non-com, odds are you're gonna get wiped out because you technically don't exist. You're non-commissioned officer. You're non-commissioned. You're not supposed to be there.
Okay. I'm going to go through these comments. I'm not going to lose my spot here, but I'm going to go through and read them. Again, King B says, if people knew he was overstayed, they turn him in. Isn't there rewards? Yes, technically there is.
Yes, but not really.
Yeah, it's not good. There's tons and tons of overstaying Americans and foreigners from other Asian
And again,
countries.
most of the times, Filipinos won't turn you in. Oddly enough, they
All right.
won't.
The next one that came up was they said that they were in the military, and they said, I'm prior U.S. Marines. That being said, it takes 20 years of active duty. That I'm aware of too. According to him, it was 16 years. But according to him, when I thought he said Clinton multiple times, whatever war was going on at that time, he said that they got rid of a bunch of military and that at that point he thought something was given. Inside of the comments of these videos, there is a specific act mentioned that those that at least had 15 years and was let go by that president during that military active stuff, they were allowed to have it. So it is being said that based on whatever that was, and somebody listed, there's like a whatever, it mentioned whatever that was. It said if you had at least 15 years and blah, 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 than he was to get stuff because he says he's working with another veteran vlogger that's helping him, and he said that he is do it because he was in 16, but he was in at that point. He hit that 15. So the whole thing is he knows he can get those benefits, and he knows that he can get the others, but he was waiting all this time. So he's been broke for a while, but it was kind of asked why he hasn't done it. I don't know why he hasn't. According to him, he was okay with the life he was living. That's fine. I think I think everybody goes through some sort of rustic stage where they feel, oh, if I move out to the country or move out rural, or I'm going to start a farm, or I'm going to do this, or a lot of them, when they know they're coming to the Philippines, are going to be basically roughing it unless they come with millions of US dollars or several hundred thousand US dollars and invest it right. Then a lot of them know this isn't going to be easy coming to a third world country. And I don't know what this guy was actually thinking. He made a lot of mistakes, a lot of things going One to say hi to our members that are in the house, and one to say hi to Sarah, and Lucca is in the house. Laura is in the house. And of course, we got MB and Black Grandpa. Raymond, hey, what's up, my good man? Said I mentioned Second Wind. Slick Rick is in the house. So I'm going to go through some of the comments here. But yeah, there's a lot to process. I commend the guy for not for trying to work, because with the shit going on in the US, they could always, I don't care what you guys say over a million times, they could always cut the Social Security. They could just do away with it if things are rearranged. Project 25 and all this bullshit. If something happens and Social Security goes away, there are 60 something thousand here, and I guarantee 90% of them are relying on that. I know that's where a lot of our income's coming, and it is what it is on that. So I would be out there hustling too, but I don't think that I would be trying to take a position at the local, barangay or something. I'd be out there hustling George and rounding up shit like a pimp. I'd pimp George out and be on fans only and selling fruits and vegetables and puppies and dogs out of the house and all kinds of shit. But I'd be figuring something out. But the whole deal is that if that's cut, there's going to be a lot of people hustling. But this dude admitted that he got caught in the pussy trap of Walking Street. He flat out said that married with the chick on the side with additional kids that he moved in. It's like he's caused his own thing. But it seems that this vlogger that we've talked about before seems to come up with these people and these stories, and it's the way they went back and forth during the conversation that blows my mind about some of it. And it just, something did not resonate like correctly on. Now, if it wasn't for his shirt, I wouldn't have believed the story about having the job that he actually had, showing him at an outpost, talking about he could arrest people. And I would have never believed that in a million years. I would have never pictured a foreigner out there. And then he mentioned something about him, it kind of shocks people with him being a white person and doing this. In other words, he's getting his rocks off on doing it, being able to control people is what he was going on about. And yeah, that's what he went on about, is people find it strange
Okay.
that I'm
Well,
here.
first
And
off, if you're ever into a position where you can get a government position of a sort, because whether you guys admit it or not, the barangay is a form of government. Don't take it.
you're not supposed, the White House. They already said stay out of anything politics, stay out of anything government. It's
Yeah.
been
Okay.
posted through
Yeah.
the embassy over and over
Well,
again.
let's say you don't give a shit about that part. What I'm saying is,
Yeah,
let's
let's
say
say
you
you
don't
do.
give a shit about politics or government positions or anything like that. I get it. I understand. But you have to understand, okay? Keep in mind that most of the time when you're in a government position, regardless of what position you're in, whether you're taking tax payments or crap, you're still in the policing industry. What I'm
Mhm.
saying is, you're still in that position. You're
Which is
sitting
not good.
right. You're in
Because
a position
people
where
like that get
you
pewed
have
all the time.
to basically adhere and force the laws on the people. What I'm getting at is, now Tana. What's Tana? It's the guard. What's the guard? It's the basically the local community police. Okay, for those of you who are not aware, put yourselves in this position. You're a foreigner, an obvious foreigner. You really think that Filipinos are that dumb that they will listen to a foreigner forcing Filipino laws on a Filipino from a foreigner? I'm not being facetious here. I'm just being real. What do you think the odds that Filipinos know enough about the law when they look at you like you ain't got no right? You
Yeah.
think they'll listen to you? Okay, one, that's already a strike. Two, no respect. They're not gonna get the respect. Three, you're not gonna get the pay. That's three strikes. You're out. What I'm saying is, why would you put yourself in that position?
Because
You're
he's broke.
right. People already know more than you do because you don't know the laws here. You can read all the laws you want, but you don't know because you weren't born and raised here.
Well, here's the thing.
Two, you're American or whatever you're from, you're a foreigner, they're not gonna respect you. And 3, you're not gonna pay worth shit.
It can work for a Filipino going over there and being a police down the road in the United
No,
States.
no, no, no.
Doing it
That's different.
here,
That's
well,
different,
but
though.
that's
And
what people would
there is no
see
barangay
is.
tanod in the U.S.
I know. Let's not be so literal on every single thing. What I'm saying is, it's still a
Yeah, but that's muddying the
position in
water. There's no
It's
barangay.
not muddying the water.
There is no barangay tanod in the U.S.
I know that he shouldn't be in any position. What I'm saying is, what works here, what worked in the U.S., like people going over there and working for City Hall or something, is I'm trying to
Don't
give an
convert it
example.
to. Well, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying don't convert what he's doing to the U.S. Point
Yeah,
being
it just
is,
doesn't work here.
It doesn't.
He
It doesn't
shouldn't
work.
be doing it
It
here.
doesn't
That's
work. There
our
is no
biggest
equivalent.
shock.
There is no equivalent.
Let me read some of the comments that have come through on the channel. It says, this guy is what's used to be known as a hobo. He is not supposed to be working in the Philippines, taking that type of job from a poor Filipino. He needs to go back to the US and get a job. Yeah, because he's out of status. It was lightly mentioned, very lightly. The guy never conferred that he is with a 13A. The other person said, I think you have one. He never said, yes, I do. So even if he has a 13A, he hasn't renewed his passport. Without a passport, there's nobody in that office that's going to give you a renewal on the ACR after a couple years. And you have to register yearly with the passport. So without that, he was dead in the water immediately. He hasn't had a passport in 19 years. He entered the country with probably 6 months. So he wasn't supposed to be even working at the call center. A lot of people are like, oh, well, he was allowed to work at the call center. I call that out. I've been here close to 5 years, and without those items, he's not renewing that card. So legally, his 13A is
the
dead.
end.
So that was it. It was dead in the
Legally, you
water.
can't work the end.
So I call that out. This guy lags in the life he's living, and he's got a disorganized life. You could tell that. Well, yeah, you could tell the whole thing. A GoFundMe, is that now an overstay? He should return to the States ASAP and get things restored. Well, here's the thing. He's got to get the temporary passport. He's got to get them to release that. He's got to have somebody back over there. There's a lot actually going on. Somebody in here, I'm looking for where somebody said he claims he was in that war where they released a bunch of military afterwards. It's not 20 on the retirement. It's supposed to be 15. I'm trying to find that. We're conferred that. I'm sorry, but what makes anyone think that this guy even wants help? Did he even ask for help? Because if he didn't ask for help, then it might be because he likes his life as it is. People may have ideals about where this man would best thrive, and as long as this man has agency, then it would be inappropriate to try to get this guy to come back to the US. Yeah, here's the thing though. He's now officially, in my opinion, somewhat a burden. He doesn't have a passport to leave. He hasn't updated his immigration. He doesn't have any incoming money. So then he has become the same as you all would say shit about the foreigners that are illegal in the US. This guy is now a burden on the Filipino people. So he's not applying for Social Security. If these benefits are true based on what he's saying and what others have said about the 15-year period, then he's not applying for anything. And something does seem to be off. Maybe there's disability benefits. Who knows? But according to him, he can't do any of the above. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot to process.
Okay, this is my experience. Again, veterans out there, correct me if I'm wrong. I could be
Hey,
very
Papa
wrong.
in the Philippines. Yeah.
I believe it is 20 years. Because when you sign up for 20 years, you're classified as a lifer. I know it's not for life.
I know.
But what I'm saying is you're classified as a lifer. The ones that don't get that.
Okay, here it is. Here it is right here. And you guys can look this up. I was active duty when all of that happened under the Clinton administration. Yes, they let go a bunch of military. For those who served as a member and they were at least with 15 years, early retirement benefits under TERA, TERA was given to them. So there it is. So
yeah, but here's the issue. This is from somebody who doesn't want to claim his benefits.
Well, correct. I'm not saying that the dude's saying that he worked during that time, but somebody did come through and confer and say, yes, we're allowed to. So I'm now curious about that. So
no. I'm just
20
saying
years.
that, again, Well, again, for those of you veterans that in that era, let us know because again, I don't know. I know a lot, but not a lot. If that makes any sense. I know enough that it's 20 years for a lifer, and then
Temporary Early Retirement Authority, TARA, under
yeah.
military
See, I don't know nothing
benefits.
about that.
Well, I'm not claiming I do anyways, but it was mentioned several times.
Yeah,
It
but
said that if somewhat you were reduced, in other words, it could be that it's based on beings they ended his active duty and he might have had X amount of years, then that could have been where he could have been in for 20 years.
yeah,
They
but
ended
but
him.
see, that's why I hate these kind of posts. I'm talking about those kind of posts because it gives false hope to people that moved to the Philippines. Like for instance, like,
Well, I wouldn't.
oh well, I can work for the Barangay Tanod. He did.
Well,
Not
that's like that. Them two.
technically no. The reason why I
Well,
say technically no, even if he did,
who
because
would want to for $4 a
technically
day out in the
he didn't
province? I
exist.
don't want a
To
position like
clarify
that.
for those of you who don't know, what I'm saying is
I'm more concerned.
technically he didn't exist.
False hope. I'm more concerned about the dude that says he's living on $500. That's beyond false hope. And there's some fish tank creep out there that's vlogging now that does videos here and there that says, I drink the water out
Well,
here in the Philippines. I'm fine. Everybody else drinks it. People get Montezuma's revenge. And he goes on about all these things that are problems here in the Philippines for expats, especially expats. And he's like, oh, it's okay. That's the bullshit I'd
what
be
I'm
worried
saying
about that people are
is, if
vlogging.
you're getting paid under the table, you don't exist. You don't count.
That's pretty much what he's saying is he was being paid under the
That's
table.
what I'm getting at.
Second one, you go sit down somewhere, Florida man, and go and make me a sandwich.
Okay, now the reason why Floridians have a bad rap, this is fact, is because of the Sunshine Law. And Sunshine Law, for some dumb reason, that's what it's called. Sunshine Law states that, and even foreigners know this. Um, it's just like apparently only Florida allows free background checks and shit like that. So that's what it is. So basically, they can,
What the
whatever.
hell? There's nothing in the middle, just a donut?
Hey, look,
Mm-hmm.
huh? It's not a donut. It's a lollipop.
I'm gonna lollipop you later. It's just a donut. I thought there was something in it.
Huh?
There's nothing in it. No cream, no nothing.
There is.
At least you had cream.
There's a hole right there.
At least you had cream this morning.
What's that hole there?
The stick.
Seriously? Oh.
I
No,
guess
there's chocolate right there.
I guess there is. Oh, whoopty. There was some. See the little hole? Yours wasn't chocolate. Yours was white this morning.
Oh, yeah, there's Boston cream.
Hmm.
It's hard to see, but there's Boston cream in there.
No, Mary. Mm-hmm.
What?
$8.
Aw, Mary.
He said,
You can have donuts, kid.
not the chocolate. You can give her the back half, this little piece. Well, don't put it in your mouth. You don't want to.
He might
He
be
might
married
be
before.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
He don't want his wife to get part of his retirement.
He's still legally married to her. Here's the thing. If you definitely marry in the U.S. or marry here, you can go back to America as it happened recently. You can go as a foreigner back to your country and divorce your Filipina no matter what. She would then get the papers and file them here, and it's 6 months to a year to get it all changed around. But could be but like the Social Security part of it, I don't know. She didn't really live in America that long. She only went in for a couple weeks, so she wouldn't have any rights to his benefits at all.
She wouldn't qualify.
Give or take. I mean, we're not like the legal stance on that, but no, I don't think that's it. I honestly get the weird vibe that I don't think he was in the service as long as he said, maybe, or something
Honestly,
else.
that's what
He
I
was an
think.
independent
That's what I think.
contractor out in the Middle East. That could have happened without
No, he
military.
could have served 2 years because that's the minimum contract. However, that doesn't make him qualify.
I believe he's military.
No, I believe he's a
Ex-military.
veteran. I'm not doubting.
But I'm thinking he was mostly a contractor. Maybe it was all under the table and he doesn't have the taxes for Social Security. maybe he would only get the low income part if he wasn't in the military that long. In other words, if you don't have a bunch of them serviceable hours and he was only in the military for 2 years and that was the only thing,
No,
who knows?
I
I
think
don't know. Something's not right about
I
his
don't think
story all
he's
the way
a
around.
I don't think he's a lifer. If that makes any
But
sense.
maybe he's one of those diehard people, no matter what, that refuses to apply until he gets 100%.
Okay, now
That is, I mean, we
that
totally,
is a remote possibility. Keyword remote
But-
possibility.
right now, and this was like this has been going on for a while. This is a 3-part thing. The last one I think was almost a year ago on the video. So it's been going on. He's been on this channel before. So I don't get why,
Well,
if he's out there. I mean, like literally the guy's off of the side of the road, up the side of a small hill. I mean, if it rains, he's never going to get up the hill. You've seen that. The vlogger could barely get up the side of this hill to get to the place he's living at. And the guy is literally living hand to mouth out there. Screw that, man. I mean, if he was getting even $1,500 a month, he would live like a king out there. I don't get why, with everything going on in the US and things getting all screwed up and all these programs could all of a sudden go away. I would get your shit now. I waiting for 100% right now is insane.
yeah. Now, Papa in the Philippines. You voiced something that was in the back of my head. Fact. Papa in the Philippines says, "Hey, Papa, how you doing, man?"
Hey.
Papa in the Philippines says, "Was he honorably discharged?" It has crossed my mind, but we don't have enough facts or don't know anything.
Yeah, according to him, he said Bill Clinton's regime let him go with a bunch of other
Is an
military during the war. Right.
open-ended statement.
He said they let a bunch of
That
military
is an
go.
open-ended
Correct.
statement. So, but it has crossed my mind. But again, I wasn't going to voice it out. However, it is something that was in the back of my head. And thank you for bringing that up. Yes.
Well, according to him, it was something Clinton did to a bunch of people. So then it would have just been an honorable discharge.
Not necessarily.
Well, what does that mean?
Huh?
People that messed up and he let a bunch of them go at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
He said it was budget. He said it was all in the
I
military
get
budget.
that.
So
I
then
get
it
that,
would,
but you have-
if it, according
But
to
you
him.
have to remember the narrative suits the person giving the narrative for the most part.
That's the way I like to run it.
And I'm not judging. I don't know. That's why I didn't mention it. But what I'm saying is, if, let's say right now, for example, right now, if you're in the Philippine government, if you quit your job, you can say, well, the reason why I quit my job is because, they were cleaning out the government,
Which
the officials and stuff. But in reality, right now,
kind of like the
the
agendas
warning
of these
is-
YouTubers
right,
and
the
stuff.
warning
They fit
is-
it the way
right.
it fits for you to come here. It's crazy. I was thinking about that the other day, and I'm like,
well, right now,
the
there's
$500 budget and stuff, and I'm like, they spend other money.
Okay.
That's not what they're living
Well,
on.
that's how I was
their
saying.
agenda.
Like right now, if you were part of the Philippine government, I'm not saying you are. Right now, if you quit your job, you can say, "Oh, they were cleaning out there's a new sheriff in town. There's a new ombudsman. They're trying to start cleaning." But in reality, the real statement was the ombudsman says, I'm paraphrasing here. If you did anything wrong, you better quit now before we catch you, because we're gonna go through and audit everything.
Yeah.
Get it? There's a difference between saying that, oh well, I quit because they're cleaning. There's a new, ombudsman.
Or as Benny said, he says you can be considered a veteran anytime after basic
No.
training. So
That
he could have. Now we're not saying
no.
he did.
I'm not. I'm sure he's a veteran. I'm sure he is, and I'm sure he's worked
He
for.
said anything after basic training.
Well, either way, point being is, again, it depends on the narrative, and that's the point I was trying to make. Yeah.
Powdered straw. Did you get your cream filled there?
Aw, Krispy Kreme.
Oh no, we have not. We do not watch them every day because, like always, like people watching us, it was more of the drama thing, not really the expat thing. And we used to speak with Dave and Rose in the beginning when we wouldn't personally use our YouTube manager to fix their tax thing. They got mad at us. Then it was a thing back and forth on our channels for a little bit. And we really did wish them the best. Then David went back, and then it was something we wanted to cover because of what had happened. And we have not watched it because now it's just been her and her family and some cooking, and we don't watch her personal vlogs. So no, I did not see that David It does not surprise me, though. I mean, he was always ill.
Well,
He's always been sick with
I hope
issues.
he's okay. I
Yeah, we
mean,
have not taken a look at that. Are you checking?
I don't. I mean, it's possible he would turn all of a sudden. I don't even know there.
Well, he's got, I mean, anything after a stroke, he was never promised anything. Did you find him?
Well, it's. I'm not sure which one's which anymore.
It should be the province one, should be.
Yeah, that's what I'm on.
They probably posted.
Oh, and sugar. Oh, he is diabetic?
Well, that's an old video, George. That's their first opening. That's in the
No,
world.
that's the thing. This is so that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the other channel is. What is it? That's the old
Well,
channel.
is that the last one from a couple days ago? There's one right there. Another call to David. No, you just put in and all of them came up for me.
Oh,
So,
we got 3. Okay.
well,
Anyway,
that's not them. That's somebody named their channel after them, but that's probably the one. No, see, so it is the one from a couple days ago. Because she went back to America. We knew about that a couple months ago, or she officially made her first trip. So sorry to hear about that. Yeah, we'd have to watch through there. Yeah, it's sad. Hey, JoJo. Yeah, you can set up a GoFundMe for my donut funds and just get ahead of the game. And then you guys can pick on me when I pass away and all that shit. And you say, "Yeah, I pay for that big bitch's donuts."
right.
Right, right. Maybe we ought to do a donut opera. Don't cry for Heidi over donuts. Set up a GoFund for me. So George will have a funeral fund and something to snack on when Heidi passes away. He'll have some donuts. Donuts, donuts. You're not going to add to my opera here like you did last time?
No.
What? You cooperating or am I you're going to have that Christmas tree for lunch?
Yes.
I'm going to make you a Christmas tree sandwich.
Yes.
Yes, please. Respect, man. ROTCC.
What are you talking about?
Wonder. Yes. He's asking, are we talking about Q's adventure? Maybe. There's a lot of vloggers that are doing these type of videos.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of AI,
AI. Want to share donuts
Google
with the
and
rest of the
AI
class?
again. I
No.
can't tell you how many times. Don't listen to them. Do your own research. For example,
Yeah, I
that
wish you guys
me and Scott were
had.
talking about
'Cause
Canlau.
these really turned
We're
out
talking
really
about Tal
good.
Volcano today. Again, if
It's a
you
lot of
live
work.
right, if you live in Cavite area, be careful of the Taal volcano. It's that volcano in the lake. It's like in the Philippines, Kilauea. Is the best way to describe it. The reason why I brought this up is again, Google and AI are always incorrect. Um, according to Google AI, it says that so far Taal has erupted 38 times. No, no, no,
Oh
no,
yeah, the
no,
misinformation there.
no. Just between the 1950s and the 1960s, it's already erupted 57 times. Just between the 1950s and the 1960s. What I'm saying is, where does Google and AI come up with it's erupted 38 times? You already, within the 10-year period, it erupted 57 times. I even told Scott again, it's been erupting since me and Heidi arrived here. How many times has it erupted? In fact, Heidi doesn't even know because guess what? How many times has it erupted?
I know how many times you erupted this morning and last night.
Well, that's a different story.
Okay.
But no, seriously, don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
be careful of what you.
Heidi, do you know what happened to expat John, his girlfriend, two twins? Yes. The twins and her never left that area. He did officially with help of old dog Paul and one or two other expats, and then people back in the U.S. He did return. He struggled for a little bit, homeless shelter, stay with some people. This is a roundabout. I'm not saying I have the full story, but most of the story. And then he did his thing, got his money. He returned back silently. He did come back. He just hasn't been on social media. So he did return to her. But yeah, There was some stuff right before he left where it was dealing with money and stress and other things going on, but he did come back. He just stayed quiet. So, according to what's going on, he's been doing well. Um, 1 second here. 1 second.
Second.
I was just talking about something with YouTube.
Yeah, and
Um,
Sam it says Google is always right.
yeah.
I wish. I wish it was
Is
always
he
right.
still able to stay in the Philippines if he overstayed? And when was the last time? According to directly from the vlogger in them, it's 19, 20 years. So ever since he entered the Philippines, he must have only had that 6 months left on his passport, which I say, renew your passport and make sure it's ready to go because it's not always the easiest. And a lot of people don't realize how far away they are from Manila or what it takes. Even if it's an hour away, it could take you 3 hours to show up somewhere. I mean, it takes a little bit to get through Philippine traffic. It could be a plane, a boat, and some other things just
Oh,
to get somewhere. So I think that's what they said, that this guy would have to take a boat and then he would have to take a plane. He would go from the Cebu airport to Manila and then it just goes from there. It takes the guy forever, and then once he gets in there, but here's the thing: understand more and more. A lot of things can be done online. I canceled my medical online, where that you couldn't do that before. I was able to transfer. I didn't have to go in to transfer my Social Security, and he can still apply online for his Social Security. So I don't get He's going to have to apply and get approved for the Social Security, but I don't know that he can open a bank in advance, but he can't do that without a passport and without an ACR. He can try. He can maybe Here's the thing, where I feel will be his best possibility is he'll have to go in and get something from the local. Can't you go in and get some paper from the local barangay as a foreigner? It's kind of like when you do the tax things as a foreigner and you're running a business, you still have to go get a clearance and stuff. I think they can approve something to give to the bank. That could be a possibility.
no, I'm not
You
arguing with
had to
that.
get something like that yourself with the first
The
bank.
well, that's not the issue I have. The issue I have is it's the fact that he doesn't work for the barangay anymore makes me question things. What I'm saying is, if he lost his position, I don't know if he can even do that.
Gotcha.
Just real quick again.
To get a barangay clearance,
No,
to
no,
get a
no,
bank account.
no. You can get a clearance, but
That's what.
that's not usually enough.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
Well, that's what I was
That's
saying earlier.
part
But you're saying that it was
part of the requirements.
correct.
No, no, he can as long as he gets those two signatures, barangay clearance or not.
Here's the thing: it's
Notwithstanding,
going to
yeah,
depend on your attitude because you might do that, and if you plead your case and you're nice, and this guy didn't seem like a mean guy. He seemed like a really good going guy. Then he may be able to go
yeah.
into PNB, and they may come. Hell, you'd be surprised, like George said, here in the Philippines, what you could actually get away with. He could bring in his old passport, but it's how you
Well,
handle things.
the best way to describe it, barangay clearance only basically states that you exist in that community, that particular barangay. That's all it means. It doesn't mean anything more than that. But what I'm getting at, it doesn't count as ID. The barangay clearance doesn't count as ID. It
I
doesn't.
know that.
What?
I'm
Well,
just
what I'm
trying.
saying
You were
is,
just fighting me tooth and nail saying
I'm
he
not.
could get a bank account. Now I'm
I'm.
agreeing
I'm
that
not
there's a way.
fighting with
Now,
that. I'm just explaining that barangay clearances is a requirement, but that's all it states, that you exist in that community for the
it
bank
would help
to
to get the
know where to
approval.
go after you if by chance you default
It's
on
kind of a
anything.
catch
Right.
22 problem because if you're applying for Social Security, you need somewhere to deposit it. without his status being legal, he's not going to be able to get a direct deposit here without a bank account. It's not the US. It's not an automatic given that your social security is clear and you didn't screw that bank over that they're going to give you a bank in the US. No. I mean, every foreign guy I was married to and dated always was able to go in and get a bank account with no issues.
I would
Here,
hope so. Anyway.
it's not like here
Well,
where
what I'm
I
saying
got a
is,
hard time, and
if you
mine wasn't
can't open up
instant.
a bank account, then there's something wrong. That's what I was getting at.
Well, there can be illegal in the U.S. I could have been dating an
That's
illegal.
that's.
Matter of fact, I dated an illegal. Then he's not going to get a bank account.
I just said that,
You want to? Would you like to have a discussion about
babe.
donuts and broken rabbit
I
necks?
clearly stated that if you can't get a bank account, then there's something wrong.
Okay.
AKA, if you're legal, well, obviously there's something wrong. I mean, I wasn't arguing with you. What I'm saying is, even in the Philippines, did I get a hard time? Yeah, only because of my job as a YouTuber, but because
The
the
guy's got an uphill battle. All I hear is lip service from this vlogger that I really think is ridiculous, because this vlogger, there's only, in my opinion, so many active vloggers that are really helping people, that really, really help. Okay. And I don't feel that he's one of them. I believe 90% of that money he does that nonprofit bullshit he talks about, and he's pocketing it all. That is my strong belief about this vlogger, and he gets these stories that he gets going, and that's a lot of them. They collect large amounts, and it doesn't go without the Dumagetti group and some of the others that have been collecting stuff. I'm not believing 100% of the money went in the right directions or anything. Take it as the shade you want to fucking take it. And in this case, I really feel there's something shady going on, but it's an impossible. The guy doesn't have any leg to stand on unless he takes this leap, and he's been at his house several times, and it's like, he didn't even fix the house, he used it for food. Okay, I get you need food, but a few months or 6 months ago, why didn't you apply for at least your social security? Now he's still talking about it, and it's like, you have to do something on your own. And I get men and women think differently how they process things, and it's, but according to him, he has good, thinking. I don't know how he did when he blew all his money on Walking Street, but it's a mess. It really is a mess. How is a veteran needing help? He is not a veteran or lying about something. Yeah.
okay, the reason why he said this, guys.
You better go sit down somewhere. He said hashtag
Yeah,
cancel George.
sign the petition. No. The reason why he said that, if he's a veteran, is because anybody who knows, one, if you're a veteran, first off, you will get that pension, which again, and according to this guy, he's not, or he refuses to.
Yeah.
Two, if you're a veteran, again, Veteran Affairs does exist in the Philippines, and they will help you out. So what I'm saying
Correct, that's
is,
what.
oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is true. I mean, this shady vlogger coming out there and collecting money from his viewers and all that, and then he says, "I don't have a Gcash. I don't have this. I don't have any way." The actual alleged military guy, Victor, living out there, doesn't have any way of getting the money, anyways. So let me rely on a shady vlogger to collect this money, because hey, what the hell, you know? I get by with a little help from my friend situation, but there are enough of them, including the VFW or other things, and you can still do a lot of this online. Don't sit there and be like, but I don't even think he has electricity out there. I think he said his daily project is going in town and charging his phone, George. The dude doesn't even have electric out there. So it's kind of scary that you would even put yourself. I mean, at least if I wouldn't stay out there myself. You would not catch me out there with no ability. At least I myself would go into Manila and sit on the streets and beg like a motherfucker. I'd be out there at least fed, and I surely would have a way to charge. I would take my money and go sit in McDonald's and have a coffee and charge my shit up. What I'm saying is, out there fetching your water and smoking cigarettes and twiddling your thumb and your ding dong is not going to get you anywhere.
Now, again, I'm not hating on the guy. I'm really not.
I wish you just put it out there, but at least he could be twiddling that in the
I'm
McDonald's.
not hating on veterans, but here's the thing. And veterans out, You veterans will agree with me.
Veterans still can mess up, though.
Well, no. I agree. However, to be a veteran, a real veteran, and what I mean by real veteran, somebody who's actually been there, experienced things,
Manic Monday.
had training. First off, his living conditions. What are his living? He basically lives in a somewhat, basically like a knee pot. I'm not again hating on the guy. He basically
Hey,
lives in a knee
Thomas.
pot. It's basically just four corners and a tin roof, and that's it. No ceiling, no nothing. So it's hot. It's hot. Okay. He lives on the side of the road, literally. And
Yeah, you
a
seen
true
that.
veteran would have like some rainwater barrels or some shit like that on the side of his roof to collect the rainwater, and that way he has some form of water, just at least to water something and clean something or take a bath out of it. Not necessarily drinking water, but rain, you know. Second, he would probably have some solar panels or some shit like that. A barrage of
Yeah,
solar
because he could at
panels
least charge his
and
phone, but
charge
I
his
guess he
phone.
needs to walk his skinny ass somewhere.
Right.
Gotta move them
And
bones.
again, I'm not saying that all veterans think this way, but I would say 80% of veterans think this way. So he may fall off on 20%. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, and if you're a veteran, I'm not gonna not again, it has nothing against. In fact, it's actually for the veterans. If you're a veteran, you're proud of it, you're definitely gonna collect your just deserves. What I'm saying is you're gonna go collect your pension. You're gonna go collect your social security because you earned it. You definitely earned it.
Oh wow,
You get my picture.
this will be interesting. Oh, you.
You know what
When
I'm
did we leave
saying?
the door open? Babe? I don't
And
remember you opening a door this morning.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is if you're a veteran, you will collect that because you are proud of it and you deserve it.
Yeah, we might cover that David and Rose thing because I just opened the video up and literally they said this video should not have been posted. So it looks like they're having an outright war again. And somebody said something about he should go into a facility, but he's already been. I thought he was in a facility. I take it they let him out. So no, we don't. Everything that we cover, if drama comes along with it, then I don't mind adding a little drama to it. But usually it's like when we covered the Campbells the last time, it's because she was trying to get to America and he needed medical really bad, so he left the Philippines. Well, that was something to cover. It's kind of like, get your medical, take care of this, don't do that. But this one might be extreme drama, but it looks like he's still having medical issues. So I don't know. This would probably a few times a year we cover stuff that is off topic, so we may cover that on the side and everything. Laura, I want to let you know his exact words are, "I'm not running from anything. I'm not a criminal." But here's the thing. Some would probably say that about me somewhat. It's if somebody has to say they're not a criminal out loud over and over again and they make it known, sometimes I feel it's a possibility because that's the way he is living. So it's good because right at the end, he said that. He goes, "I'm not a criminal. I'm not running from anything. I had one ticket my entire life or something. So this is not the problem or something." I'm like, that was a little odd that he would mention it at the very end of the video. What do you think? When somebody makes a point, although people have directed things at us and I've said no, but I didn't specifically say at the end of basic e-bagging, dry bagging, and all that. I didn't say at the end is, "Hey, I'm not going back to the US because, I'm not a criminal or I'm not running from something," and all that. No, when you guys ask me, I just don't want to fucking go back to the US. There's a lot of shit going on. I'm not going to sit there and say it, but it was just odd. It was extremely odd, but I don't think so. According to him, he's not. A little odd. Take it with a grain of salt.
No, it's odd.
So it was the way he said, if y'all going to ask me something, I'm just going to say no, you know, and yeah, it's just where it is. Something is
Simon
wrong.
Barn Sinister says Richard Nixon says he wasn't a crook.
I'm not a crook. I'm a vet. Military takes very good vets who actually served with honor. Yeah, something I Something's off.
No,
Yeah,
something's off.
I
Yes,
would say out of
regardless
all
of
3
what you
videos, they said something is wrong.
what I think, what Heidi thinks, what you think. There's something off. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people do say for him to go to the embassy. Like I said, he's hours away. And here's the thing, though, he seems 100% healthy enough. If I was to leave that house, first off, if you would see the hill that he has to go down, I'd break my neck. I know I'd break my neck. I'd never get back up that hill. I'm going to tell you that right now. And so, but he looks healthy enough to make the trip. He's just saying he's broke. Here's the thing, when this vlogger has shown up, he brought him $100 one time, brought him a couple thousand pesos of his own money. In other words, he keeps bringing him money. And I commend that any vlogger, no matter how shady they look, no matter what appears to be criminally going on with their channels or whatever the shit is going on, at least there is some help coming in. Okay. Take that fucking money and run with it, man. But you should have fucking done when you had $100 US, he should have fucking left. But some people ain't got no goddamn priorities or fucking brains in their head. That's what's going on. It just think about it. When he got that 5,000 the first time pesos, he should have went and done something. I don't care if I'd have had to stand outside the embassy, I would have done that. If he makes the appointment, he's just going on transport. That would have been enough to get him there. It's just I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense, man. You got no gooseberries in your brain or something, or you have gooseberries in your brain. So that's what they're called in the black community. Yeah, I totally missed that. Supervisors. He can only work with a special visa doing work that can't normally be done by a Filipino. Yeah. And he said he worked at a call center for a long time, and then he said that he worked there. And I can't imagine legally he was able to work either, being he hasn't had a passport.
Legally correct.
So
It's a
there
key
are
word.
foreign-owned call centers that are shady, and that would probably take
Oh
him
no,
in.
there's a lot of work here that's shady. Yes.
So I get it because I already told George. But here's the thing, I ain't even gonna fuck around, man. I'm not even gonna, as soon as they mention something's going down, I'm gonna use the rest of our savings and I'm gonna get all kinds of online work, okay? And I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna be at the markets with everybody else selling, and I can legally do it in the Philippines. And that's what I'm gonna do if everything collapses. I'm not gonna sit around and not, I just can't imagine. We keep seeing person after person, short of the ones that I know in Dumagetti that have like brain cancer and other types of cancers. That makes sense when somebody, like, I'm not even supposed to be out in the sun. I'm not supposed to be this. I do have bad days. I can barely move, but even half dead, I'm going to get something done. And I'm going to pimp George out. You and your walking stick. I mean, a walking stick. I mean, red stick. What's wrong with your red stick? Anyways, that's why it's red. I have a red stick because they call it Red Street, and that's just like how I like to beat my meat. Nothing. Not a dang, not nothing. George is not awake this morning. So how things work in the Philippines is based on how Spanish did things, or something else. I'm not sure. Oh, if that's the same guy, he said he wanted to collect his benefits. Yeah, for the max amount at 70. Yes. And the same with the military part of it. But if he
That
was
doesn't
to
make sense
get,
either.
if he said what he did about the Clinton era and they gave him early retirement based on what happened and that was all true and everything was on the up and up, then he could have applied already.
Well, not to mention, if you're hungry, that doesn't matter. You will get you want your money now. You know what I'm saying?
I am not going to sit around and eat fish and no.
Deal. Yeah. No,
No.
exactly my point. Yes.
And salty noodles and eggs. I can live on eggs and shit, but I
Even if you
mean,
got $500 a month, it's still way better than what he's living right now.
yeah, and no way, man. Yeah, he's got to be getting eaten up by bugs.
That's what I'm saying.
It's one thing to starve and say you're okay, and he kept
Correct.
saying the military built me up and made me a strong person. All right, God bless you for that. I've got a long line of family that's in the military, and I'm sorry, the bugs, the weather, the humidity, you ain't prepared for that shit, especially Does he look 65 to you?
Well, to be honest, it looks older.
Oh, you think he looks older?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of. Let me bring in. For those that have just joined us, we'll play the video. It's not really a video, it's just photos of the dude. I didn't think he looked 65, in my opinion. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right. He does look younger. Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's claiming he's 65. It could be. It could be.
No, he could be, but
But
he does look younger. Yeah. But yeah, now that I see that picture, yeah.
uh, so
But it's possible. Well, you
yeah,
both it can go. It could swing both ways.
correct. So this is for a recap for
Yeah.
people.
See, on that one, he looks older. Yeah. See. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he actually does look a rough around the edges. Victor, and part of the video on a vlogger that's been set up a GoFundMe and money for him, which he has done for several other people, and I call quote unquote exposing these people, has put this guy on. He says he is a war veteran from Florida. Admits to being irresponsible. He blew through about 120,000 US dollars since he entered the country 19 years ago. His passport is expired. He said he's married to a Filipina, which unconfirmed that he has a 13A. The vlogger said he did. He didn't say, yeah, that's what I've got. But that's what's assumed, even if it is with no passport. He's not renewing his ACR card. With no ACR card, he is out of status. He says he's worked at call centers and that he has worked for the Philippine, I'm going to say government because it's a local government. He said he had the right for arresting people and all this other thing. His passport's been gone. He says he's waiting till he's 70 something to apply for Social Security, which actually he should be able to do it at 66 and 10 months. He's waiting for full benefits, according to him, but it doesn't seem right when he's sitting here broke. He's living in his dead mother-in-law house. That doesn't belong technically to his wife that is no longer with him. She's living in a house that he paid for, but he had moved in a housekeeper that he had multi kids with intentionally. I guess he wanted his side piece in the house. So he's claiming he'd been down here in Pampanga on Red Street, Walking Street, spent up all of his money, and he really enjoyed it, how he went on. Surprisingly, this vlogger said he didn't know much about that area. Could have sworn he's been down here. Kind of odd, but I could have sworn he says he has. I thought he had done videos on it, but I could be wrong. But the guy's wasted his money and opportunities, and I don't know when he thought he was going to apply. Said he's military. Said that the Clinton had ended a bunch of careers back in the day, and he was part of that group. Someone said at 15 years you can, and all kinds of stuff going on. But he hasn't applied for any benefits on either side till recently. So he's been covered in 3 vlogs by this person, and now officially he's broke. He was okay before. He just needed nails to fix the wall. There's been incoming money. It looks like he hasn't used it except for food and cigarettes and to do his daily living. Can't blame him on that, but he should have went forward. He does have a phone. He's trying to apply for benefits, trying to get a bank account, but a lot of these things are not going to happen. Once you lose all of that, you lose a lot of things. And so the guy at one point, which was a discussion me and George went back and forth on. I mean, look at like he's going to the bathroom on the outside. He's hauling in water. There are no sealed. He's got to be getting eaten up by bugs.
Well, there's
Everything
not
else.
even windows.
The
That's
first
the first
vlog,
thing I noticed is there's no windows in this place.
the first vlog, he said he was happier than flies on shit, and he was good. Just give me some nails and some wood, and he was given like $60. And he said he didn't need anything, and then he went on and everything. But I'm like, shit, man, you need a whole goddamn house. Come on. I get it, but he's just been going through and living like this and just getting by. He thanks for being in the military, but he says he's waiting to apply for all benefits. Well, now is the time. I still don't get how he was able to work. I really don't. I really, really don't. And I surely wouldn't have.
Well, like I said,
Yeah, it says right
you
here,
can.
any barangay officials, which in a sense, if he's working a post like that is from the barangay, it still is. No person shall be eligible to be in any barangay official post unless he is a citizen of the Philippines.
I understand that, but like I said, technically it doesn't exist. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah.
Technically,
So
you work for the barangay.
basically,
Yes,
it's under the
but
table.
technically
Yeah.
you don't exist.
Right. So there have been questions on whether or not how much military he really has. This other vlogger doing GoFundMe for him under, his name. Why hasn't this guy set up his own GoFundMe? Who knows?
Now here's the actually Bookham Dano kind of make a
Hey,
good
what's
point.
going on?
Bookham Dano says call Rafi Tufo. Now I know he said it jokingly because he said lol, but point being is that's a good barometer. What I'm saying is, if you were to call Rafi Tufo, what is the issue?
Well, lately he has been going. Believe it or not, I just seen another one. That was what we were supposed to do. We'll probably do it on Wednesday for Halloween. We'll cover. There's been a couple Rothies. We'll do the dueling. I think it's a father and son that got screwed by the same woman. I
No,
think
I
it could.
get
They
that,
both got
but
screwed.
there's
But
nobody scamming him.
he helped. He did like Empanada Tatai and Carrie. They did get him.
So first off, guys,
They helped
again,
him with the passport.
that's
he has
really
done it.
rare that he does that.
Right, correct. It's not his
Second-
norm to just pay
second.
bills and take care of the homeless.
Right.
or
No.
people
I'm
down
saying
on their
is
luck.
usually there's an issue, and now here's the problem with this guy. What I'm getting at is the problem is the fact that he worked for the barangay Tanad is an issue
Yeah.
because now you're bringing somebody who's a senator level. Maybe like,
What was he working? Yeah.
This
That's
should
what I thought was
never,
odd is this
ever had
vlogger.
happened.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, but okay. For example, again, I don't know. I'm not in his shoes. I know he claimed that he lost his position because there's a new change of hands.
That's what he
But
said. He goes,
but
they
it's
kept all
also
the other
possible
they
that he
kept-
lost his position because he put it out on YouTube.
This vlogger put his shit out months before
What I'm
it all
saying is,
happened.
right.
Yeah, sure.
Is it possible that he lost his position because he put his shit out on YouTube? Now that it's out on YouTube,
I know if I
you're like,
was a
"Oh,
Filipino,
hey, there's this American working a brown guy."
I want to let you know. I want to let you guys know that there are just as many nice Filipinos here as there are scamming ones, and that as much as you guys keep hearing about all these things and it's being reported from anywhere from me to somewhere else that there are these things going on, I have fairly been happy here in the Philippines, believe it or not. But in an instant like this, that shit will be put out locally in his area. Like when we post videos,
That'll
guaranteed
raise
the neighbors know.
eyebrows.
Correct. And if I was in America and seen that somebody else had a position and I was living out in the Ozarks and knew that they were illegal, or which technically he is right now, he doesn't have, he's admitting no passport, he's admitting out of status, he's going through all of this, and then he's taking a local job where I could be feeding my kids or something, then I guess I would be
See,
like,
it
what's
has
going
crossed
on
my
here?
mind that it's also possible
Mhm.
that he lost his position because he put it out on YouTube.
Yeah.
What
he
I'm saying is,
said-
if you have a job that you should never have had,
yeah, they reviewed. It was a new change of house too. So
right? So it's one of those. Wait, what?
yeah.
You know,
He said in the 90s it was called a volunteer separation incentive program. Okay. And then it says, I received it with 15 years of service. Yes, you continue to receive it annually up to 62. So yeah, so why? Why didn't he get it
that's
back then?
assuming that he did.
So he did mention that he was
And
part of that. So
that's my argument
why
is
isn't he still getting it?
anybody, any veteran who earned it. And again, I'm not arguing with this part because again, that's not the argument. The argument is
So he can
if
at least
he
apply
earned
for it.
it, and if you are a veteran, you will proudly take it. And I mean proudly. Like,
But people did
you
question,
know,
why haven't you? If
correct.
you've been sitting out there like that with no electric, no
Correct.
water, no.
There
It
is
just
no
doesn't-
veteran out
He
there
said it was 'cause he was
that's
happy,
not going to
so-
take it like, you know, I'll wait till I'm 70.
Yeah, it's kind of.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. It's second wind still going on. Hey, Hillbilly Pyro's in the house. Hey,
Hey,
Hillbilly, what's
Hillbilly, how
going
you doing, man?
on? So the neighbors watch. Yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah, if you have a YouTube channel, which again I don't recommend it, your neighbors will see you for sure.
Twizzler,
Not
yeah,
a
a lot of
question.
bases, yeah. George is helping me understand government is different between America and the
Oh
Philippines.
no,
Yes, of
not even
course.
close. Not
Yeah.
even close.
Yeah, of course. My ACR card expired years ago. I try not to stay over 1 month. Try not to. Maybe I'm missing something.
No, 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 no. An ACR means you're a resident. So if he flies back and forth, he doesn't need an ACR card.
Right. Yeah, it's after you stay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's after you stay 90 days.
Or
Right.
it depends. Like me, I have one
Yeah.
because of 13A and stuff.
Right.
So
Well,
it's a long-term
you're
resident
a
card. Anything
resident.
after
You're a
60,
permanent
90
resident, so that
days, all
doesn't count.
that. So
It doesn't count. She's a permanent resident.
George, the foreigner, probably gets to join the tannoy because probably barangay captain felt sorry for him. Yeah.
No,
and
no,
he
no. That's
gets
what I
to
mean.
tag
Yeah. No,
along.
this.
No, but it was official. He had a shirt and he was at the post. So I wouldn't
Well,
say
like I
because he's saying
said,
he's
he's
probably.
under the table.
It says he gets to tag along. No, they had him up at the post. He was out there for 10 hours a day. That's not tagging along, baby. He literally was up there by himself.
No, I never said tag along.
Well, he
That's
is.
from
I'm reading
you.
from here. I didn't say that. I'm
I'm,
reading.
I'm just saying he's under the table. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely under. Yeah, he's destitute. It is an automatic deportation in almost in all countries. If you're out of status and or you entered illegally on a boat or came through, that's where me and George agree on all immigration in the world, including America. You need to apply like everybody else.
I'm destitute.
You're always destitute. You keep buying them damn donuts. If I keep making them damn donuts, you know what I realize? I'm like, I'll just make my own donuts. You realize them are more expensive? We could have just bought Krispy Kreme. I should have just
Honestly, that's why you don't make this stuff.
Yeah, because by the time I got the oil, because like I told George,
I'm aware of that. Yes.
the oil, the bottle of oil that had to go into the pan, I used real butter in the dough. I had to buy yeast. I had to get the flour. It took a couple eggs in there, the vanilla, the butter that went into the frosting, and all of this. And then it was like, yeah,
Okay.
that'd have been more than
Now,
700-800 pesos.
to clarify, I'm talking about in the Philippines. I don't know how it is with you guys. What I'm
Krispy Kreme's
saying
a little bit
is,
more.
for example, if we want breakfast from a restaurant, a good restaurant, not some carinderia, from a good restaurant, it costs $3 to have a good breakfast or a meal from a good restaurant here in the Philippines. $3. Okay. What I'm getting at is same thing with donuts. When it comes to food, it's always cheaper in the Philippines rather than making it yourself. Fact. ID will agree with this.
The U.S. Embassy has outreach programs to help with passports, Social Security, veteran, the travel throughout the Philippines. All right, yeah, but here's the thing: they don't travel everywhere. Like they go to Angeles, they go to. So I don't know. They don't go to every city. They go to some of the cities. So he would still have to make it to Cebu. So, and I get there are those programs because they arrive
Yeah,
in
no,
Dumaguete.
that's
There are only so many cities that they do
there's
go
only
to.
certain
They're
ones. Yeah.
limited on the cities, but they do. And he does have that opportunity, and he probably should have used that by now. He should have went in. It doesn't. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm going to get as many government benefits as possible. Okay, there's a limit where people are like, hey, I'm not going to take food stamps because usually when like on social security they still would have considered my social security in America low income. You're offered to apply for additional benefits to pay for your insurance and for the secondary insurance, they call it supplemental insurance, and 50 or $100 in food stamps. No, you don't have to, but who would turn down even the $100 in food program to
Yeah.
supplement? Most seniors and disabled people are on those programs. So it doesn't make any sense that he has these abilities and he's living like that, and never once did he say, you know what, let me go ahead, now's the time. Especially being this vlogger is, although like I said, I don't agree with him, that this vlogger is at least trying to do something. It may be for his numbers and to get paid, but he seems to be where he is doing something. And at least he's bringing some attention to what's going on. Maybe too much attention. But the whole point is there are people reaching out to him. And every time I see one of these stories, I'm like, what the fuck were these people thinking? not only the vloggers, but the actual people that are receiving the help.
This is actually
like
part.
the guy in the diaper. The guy actually, the vlogger we're talking about, put that old dude in a diaper on camera, and that was the most
Which is not right.
embarrassing
Which is
thing
not
I've
right.
ever seen.
That's not even close
So
to
this
right.
vlogger does tend to expose people, but on top of that, it's a I don't know. You got to be careful. Now the guy's out of status, and based on giving him $100 here, $100 there, you do realize that the government is watching more and more of these vlogs. They're not only doing it in the U.S., looking for people out of status, and they're going through and hiring more agencies. They do it here. Every year that goes by, the Philippines isn't an idiot. There is somebody watching these YouTube channels, and so now here's another vlogger putting all this out. Are we covering it? Hell yeah, I'm going to cover it. But it's you the one putting your story out there.
Well, there's also another important thing because again, like Philippine preference says that there's certain Philippine has an outreach. Now, keyword is outreach.
Hey there.
Anybody even in the U.S. knows that outreach programs have their limits. And what I'm getting at is, I keep saying several times, make sure you're within a hospital. Make sure you're within a Jollibee
That's
because
why we're here.
that's like a good gauge of if there's a Jollibee. There's usually there's usually a hospital in there. For example, again, I'm not picking on anybody. For example, Campbell goes to Angel City a lot. You know why? For his immigration, and he lives in Zambales.
Well,
For those of you who don't know what Zambales is, there's this big giant naval base that used to be called the Longapo. My point being is that even where he's at, he still has to go all the way to Angeles to take care of his paperwork. What I'm getting at is, don't assume that because your friend says, "Oh well, yeah, no, you can you can go anywhere, they're blah blah blah." No, 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 no. Do your research. Make sure that the area you're moving to in the Philippines will accommodate you and your paperwork. Because, for example,
and stop moving out to bumfuck Egypt for these women, and because you don't want to pay for
Right.
houses, bitches.
For example, Samar. Okay, if you're in Samar, forget any U.S. government stations there or anything like that. No, you have to go all the way to Cebu to take care of your paperwork. You get my picture. Do your research. We can't
and he ain't no spring chicken. What if he has a stroke out there or whatever?
No.
He ain't gonna make it down that. He's not gonna make it down that hill.
But what I'm saying is, don't see. Here's the problem I have: is there's a lot of YouTubers out there that says, "Oh, you can do this anywhere. You can do this anywhere." No,
drink the water, move out to the province.
Correct.
Don't mind the noise.
Right.
No, you're going to move to a fucking neighborhood that this bitch told you to go move to, and that noise eventually is going to cause you to crack like a fucking egg, and you're going to be out there choking those chickens and those Filipinos. Don't listen to these fucking idiots. Find out about the Philippines on your own,
right.
man.
And know the difference between a satellite location and a main location. A satellite location only carries what the minimal they can do for you, and the main locations can. What I'm saying is, the satellite locations will do most of the time just for basic stuff, but not like, for example, oh, I'm gonna transfer my social security to this.
They have some of the outreach programs. Right now, I'm only aware they go to Cebu, they go to Dumaguete, they go to Angeles. I think they've been out to Batangas. It's not every single place.
No.
Military contractors worked only 6-month contracts. He said he was in the military for 16 years. And then after he was out, he said that he had went and he was a contractor on his own overseas. He wasn't with the military at the time.
Wait. Hold on. I just thought about that. He said he worked 16 years, right?
Yeah.
Is there a chance he took the lump sum?
He might have. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's okay. For those of you who are not aware, during the Clinton
had,
thing, he could have taken the lump sum and not the installment.
That could be, but he's been talking about applying for benefits. So why didn't he apply? If he's able to get something now, why didn't he do it a few months ago?
So either there's something being omitted, or
yeah, there's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thomas says waiting to get benefits to be 100% or nothing is dumb.
It's dumb if you're starving, yes, but
if you're in that position where you're getting your own
it's dumb
water,
if you're starving.
you can
Yeah.
I'm sorry, these people that say, "Oh, well, I'm strong and I'm brave and I can do it and I'm this." No, there's something else going on that you would just say, "I'm waiting for 100%." And it is dumb. It is at this point with what's going on in the US that's been going on for 6 months. They've been cutting benefits, doing this, doing that, and anything could happen. Why would you have waited? He's been in this country. He's been able to do it for the last 3 years. He's been in that position of being broke. Why wouldn't you
Well, that's what I
take your
said. If
70%
you're
and take
starving, you'll
something?
take it. There's no
Unless he's
reason you
getting
won't.
bare minimum and it's going to add $200 more. I mean, I'm just exaggerating on the amount, but let's say it is bare minimum with whatever he did. Maybe he wants that few hundred, but when he's
If you're starving, there's no bare minimum.
right, but if he's okay with the house he's living in, which according to him, that's where he'd be living and staying.
I doubt it. That's hot.
He said, "Hey, he's roughing it." So let's say he stays at that house. Let's say he stays at that house. He doesn't need more than $500-$600 for food and setting it up with AC and sealing it up. You could do a lot out there with some money at that shack. So what I'm saying,
Yeah.
let's say he roughs it, stays, and you don't need 100%. And I hate to say it, if you're 65, I hate to say it,
Yeah.
more than likely people usually pass away within 8 years, 9 years of getting Social Security, 10 years. 75 is a good mark. So all I'm saying is it just doesn't make any sense. These people that are just holding fast and being stubborn, something's off on the story.
That's that house or shack he's in. It's hot. It's very hot. I even told Heidi that's very, very hot.
Yeah, you're right,
There's no
Papa.
ceiling. There's no ceiling. In fact, during that interview, he's sitting on the staircases into the house. The reason being is that's the coolest place in the house. And the reason why it's the coolest is because the I assume the house is facing north and where the grills are at, and it goes through the wind goes through from the north
Mary's
to
in her
where he's
bed.
sitting at, and the heat
Mary, you
creates
being a good girl.
creates like a vacuum. It goes out through the roof of the house, through the bedroom or rooms, whatever they are, and it sucks the cool air in, and then he's literally sitting in the coolest place in that house.
We'll lure her in with some donuts.
So what I'm saying is
Here, lure her
that
in.
is a very what?
She'll come to you. See if she'll come
She's
to you.
already
Here, Mary,
there.
go grab her.
What?
Because nobody has seen
I
her in a
don't-
while. Let's see if she'll come to you. Here she is. Pick her up.
So no, that is a very, very hot house. Yes.
Okay. You probably shouldn't have this, Mary. I'll give you one bite. You good girl? Good girl.
And there's
How's
no
it done?
electricity again. There's no electricity.
Hi, Pixie.
I don't think there's running water either.
None.
So that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. So there's
Now,
no
come on.
water.
Come on,
There's no
Pixie.
electricity. He has to go get his water.
Well, come on.
Well, he probably.
Come on.
See, that's the thing. He can't have it. I guess he can have it. The water delivered, but remember, it's drinking water. Drinking water and bathing water are two different things.
You talking about that house?
Yeah.
No, George. Like literally, the pathway looks like someone made the feet up there. There's no way for someone.
I knew there wasn't, but I can't always assume. But what I'm saying is, he can
wish you guys
have
could
drinking
taste
water
this.
delivered, but I don't know what he does for bathing water.
By the way,
Like I said, I didn't see any rain barrels.
That has the monk fruit in it, but it was cooked in hot oil. So in other words, it didn't absorb as much, and I absorbed it. In other words, the sweetness to this is. I know it doesn't help when the calories are there, but it's still pretty good.
But yeah, no. I mean, like I said, I'm not. The thing is, if you're hungry and if you're in those conditions, you will take whatever money's coming to you.
I'd have put that fucking house on my back and went down there. Zoom!
Because
I'd have walked to Cebu in this shape.
10 years of misery
Like I took that like a
like
goddamn turtle.
10 years of misery is more like 20 years of misery.
I've been like
you get
Teenage
the picture?
Mutant Ninja Turtle.
You know,
Heidi
if
in
you're
a half shell.
miserable, the time just drags twice as long.
He has nothing but his phone, and he was smoking out there. I just couldn't see it, man. I mean, I can watch TikTok all day and this and that, but you know me. When we first got here, like our first electric bill of a day of 12 hours in a house,
internet.
we had, yeah, and that's a good chance he doesn't.
Of course he doesn't. There's no electricity.
It's insane. Like some of our electric bills were 12,000 pesos. So we only had AC for like part of the day. I was bitching. I was like, no way I'm going to be, because if we would have ran it full time with the unit we had, we'd have been looking at 300 a month. I am not paying $300 a month to run electricity. So the other half of the day I'm itching and sweating. And I was like cranky and a like big time, man. I was like super cranky. Yeah, I have to go down there. Let's see. Are you able? No, I guess you can. I keep thinking you have the ability to do that.
No.
Thank you so much, Thomas. We appreciate that. Vets can get 30% and get their
Rating.
up later. Yeah, so I don't know why he would wait in any manner. Yeah, Thomas, that's
No, it just doesn't make sense. Correct. It just
Mhm.
doesn't make sense.
Hey, Ocean Breeze, what's going on? Just got here catching up. Yeah, we got another expat through that other channel. By the way, I will announce if you message us, do it through email, philippineantics@gmail.com. We'll send you the links and tell you who it is. I'm just not giving this other vlogger any more credit after this shit I've seen that guy do. It's he's on his way out anyways. He's heading to another country. I think it's back to the place he was born, but I can send you the links to the guy, but in a nutshell, the guy is actually um the guy is now officially going to look for applying for Social Security and all that, but he's totally out of status, living in his lover or his ex housekeeper, mother of his kid that he moved into his house with his Filipina situation. He spent all of his money on Walking Street, but the house, sorry, I jumped around. The house belongs to his mother in law that had passed away. The wife is living somewhere else in a house that he paid for. He went through all of his money mostly on Walking Street, he said. He admitted to blowing his money, being irresponsible, and now he wants a bailout. Well, who comes to bail him out? It's somebody I call shady. I think he's a shady vlogger. That's just my personal opinion. Got a GoFundMe open for him now. He's had one open for him now. And it's in his name, based out of California. And the guy, there is so much going on. When they tell me and my turtle shell on my back, I'd have been fucking there. I'd have swam across there. Fuck that. No boat. George, you know I'm talking the truth. My anxiety is that high. My big disabled ass would have been swimming across the fucking. I'd have beat the fucking boat in there over some fucking AC and a donut.
Right.
True. It is true. You know I wouldn't have sat still for that. When things need to be done, I got to get it done. Like when I was making these donuts yesterday, I could not sit still. It was like, nope, I might as well go do this. It's time to go. Because I was going to let them wait a while before I cooked them. And then I was going to make dinner and things were thawed out. I said, nope, I might as well start doing it now. It was like, I can't wait for stuff like that, man. Mm-mm. You can read some of the comments.
Second one says, people, send me money for GoFundMe for George. I will make sure he gets every cent. That's what he says.
I'm gonna do a GoFundMe. You know what I'm gonna put? I'm getting nothing for Christmas unless I have something through my GoFundMe.
All right.
I'm gonna say my husband's not getting nothing for Christmas GoFundMe. Add food stamps to it. You can send food stamps and all that other shit. True story. Right? Well, if you're wanting to run this live a little bit longer, I got to get up. So you guys know how it goes.
Oh, why'd you do that?
Why? Because I don't want people to see I ain't got no underwear on, bitch.
Wait.
If you want me to continue the live, I got to go to the bathroom. You already got
It's not like you have the camera up your butt or something. You might.
Basically, I do. I do that every time.
You might. I don't know. Not judging or anything. You don't even have it on the comment.
Oh, excuse me. There's the comments coming in. You could have answered them from the bottom.
Yeah, but you didn't have it on there. I don't even know where you're at.
You would have spent all that time.
Yeah, by the time you come back, because you didn't have it where you're at. So I don't know where you're at. You have a different screen than I do. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Thalma says YouTube might force people to subscribe soon. Anyone know about this?
You
Right?
take forever too.
No. Well, it's kind of. There's a lot of comments. It's not like I would know exactly where you're at.
You should see where we were at.
Yeah, if you were on there, you weren't even on that screen. You were on
That's why
the.
people watch us is because we sit here and argue.
You were on the scrolling screen. You weren't even on the chat screen.
Because you pointed down to go get the sticker, and so that's why I was lost. You
Okay,
did, so
you stated that you're lost, which again counters to knowing where you were at.
and that's why we don't communicate.
What do you mean? How is that not communicating? I was very clear. I have a different screen.
Hashtag cancel Heidi.
I have a different screen than you
Hashtag
do.
cancel Heidi.
I don't know where you're at because you're not even on the same screen. You're not even on the chat screen. You're on the scrolling screen, which doesn't even make any sense why you were on the scrolling screen. But anyway,
Okay. I don't know if we were that far down. Now I have
that's
to
what
look.
I'm saying.
Well, you were scrolling. If you're totally out of it,
Up.
never mind. Just.
I was scrolling up. I have no clue where you were at.
I want to have a good Monday, so you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I was scrolling up. I didn't ever scroll down. I was scrolling up because I knew you weren't that far down.
All right. You're right. Jojo is like, thank you for answering that. Yeah, it was a strange situation because, in our opinion, when we first started covering John, we were really happy that these two vloggers were getting him a phone and all that. But when the story got crazy is when the wife reached out to us. And for an entire day, she bitched about John. He doesn't help me with the money he claims he's getting. He doesn't do any of this. And shit started turning. And we were like, okay, this story's kind of changing on us. And then the vloggers and him got a hold of her and said, shut the fuck up. They pretty much told her to shut the fuck up. And then she started talking against us. And it kind of became not only a lesson of don't come here with $20,000 thinking that you're going to live here and then buy a motorcycle to, hey, these vloggers are helping. In other words, in my opinion, when vloggers get involved, in grabbing money. So not only were they working in the Philippines, but they're grabbing money for these other poor expats that are living here. All kinds of shit comes up. It becomes a tax issue. The actual people can turn on you. Are you supposed to be doing that? Are you supposed to have a DSWD permit? It's kind of like this guy that's doing it for him. Now you got the whole neighborhood looking at you. You got the Philippine government watching you. You got where you're collecting money. It just gets to be one tangled web. And I don't know why. I don't get it. Collect money for yourself if that's what you're going to do. Take in your own sticker money as a vlogger and stuff. And then if you want to go hand stuff out on the side, that's something different. But displaying fully like John was, because it wasn't just one channel that did, there was another one that had got him the phone and was talking about him and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it was kind of a bad situation. And then the wife and the kids had gotten sick. And there was all kinds of shit with that. And it just kind of gets all sticky.
Okay, I'm just gonna shotgun it here. What I'm saying is I'm not gonna go specific on any particular expat. The point being, whenever you hear a story of an expat on YouTube being covered by another expat, one, it is not what it seems. It's usually a different story
Usually
than
we
what
could
they
probably expose about every
than
story on the
than
internet.
what they portray. What I'm saying is most of the time the story is not reality. Two, most of the time, most of the things they say are not legal.
And what they're doing is not legal. This vlogger doing this, half the stuff he's doing. He'll say it's
So
not, but it is.
what I'm saying is, again, we have been contacted by NBI themselves and actually got questioned. Not us. They weren't questioning us. They were saying, "Oh, do you guys know where these guys are? We've been looking for them."
Yeah, no.
Point being
It's like, no, we
is
don't know where they are.
the fact that that we've been contacted by NBI. It tells you that the stories don't add up. But what I'm saying is,
And
be
don't do it as a
careful of
vlogger.
what you watch on YouTube.
And I don't know
Because
who would
most
be
of the time
giving
the
money.
stories don't match. It's not reality. Like Heidi says, like it's kind of like this. It's kind of like, oh, I'm mad because he gets I'm telling you, okay, without being specific.
Hey, good morning, Victoria.
Usually, here's the story. Oh, I'm mad because he's getting the money and I'm not getting any money. And then once they get their share, just to
Michael,
shut
good
them
morning.
up, then they pipe down and then they turn. Point being is, again, the narratives don't usually match. The stories change because either they got what they wanted or they didn't get what they wanted. You guys get my picture. So you just remember that. And again, regardless, point being is there's also what somebody says recently this week. If you're getting something that you probably shouldn't be getting, whether it's a job or benefit or money, don't brag on it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the worst.
That
Even
is
if you
the
are,
dumbest shit
it's
I've
kind of like
ever heard.
it's kind of like these dumb hoes and these food stamps in the U.S.
Correct.
Not
If
to
you're
get
getting
into, it's not
benefits,
political to say.
jobs, or money that you're not supposed to be getting, don't brag it on YouTube. You are the dumbest son of a bitch.
And why
there
isn't
is.
it done under the table? I've said it a dozen times. Why is it? You've rarely seen us where we said, hey, we're taking these Christmas presents and handing them out. It's because you guys had sent money that last month or two and we're like, hey, we said we would do it. And then we do that situation. But we don't collect in advance or a bunch of other things. But you will see where they do it. And then it's how they're giving all this charity out or they're, but in the end, DSWD comes looking, the government's watching. But back to the food stamp deal, the woman wasn't being monetized on her channel. The problem is one of them was living in housing that should only had 2 or 3 people. That's what the contract and the government and all that. She admitted she had like 8 people living there. So she lost her housing because she bragged about 8 people and how she was getting a bunch of food stamps. And she literally was an idiot by saying, oh, you guys are jealous because I'm only paying $50 a month for 8 of us living here. And you guys are jealous because I'm getting 1,100 in food stamps. No, she didn't lose her food stamps. She lost her housing because you can't have that many people living there. It's a total, offense to actually have that many living in that. And you only, and she messed up.
That's
But
an
yeah,
offense, period. Even if you own your own house, there are housing rules on the number of occupants you're allowed to have.
right. So yeah, it's kind of,
Right.
upside down on that.
Correct. You okay with that?
It's the afternoon, my afternoon steroid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, so no, again, but point being is if you don't blurt
Steroid.
out your crap on YouTube, literally. I mean, if nobody's else supposed to know about it, don't put it out on YouTube. It's just dumb.
Yeah. Cry me to tears, how embarrassing. Well, it was weird. The first video I thought was crazy because in the beginning he was like, I live out here because I'm strong and I'm military. I'm just kind of paraphrasing a little bit of what happened. And he was going on how he was so proud and I'm an American. We're proud like that, and we're not going to beg. I ain't too proud to beg. Look at all the, it does happen. And there's homeless Americans here. As a matter of fact, that was what I covered in the last stream, was another person because his bank is messed up. The guy can't get access to his bank and he's got 17 or 18,000 because 8 months he hasn't got his social security. So he's built money up. He's living with some other family, but he was homeless at first and he lost access to his banking. Well, for this guy, he's going on about how proud he is, but yet at the very end of the vlog, he says, all I want is nails and some wood to fix this place, which is $60. And then they brought him 100. And then this vlogger keeps coming back and giving him money. But see, in my opinion, based on what he said and what was coming in, I think there was way more money coming in. But yeah, that's how they're getting paid too. So the vlogger is getting paid. This guy's getting money. But it is embarrassing overall. It is. I get it. But who's to say what's embarrassing or not? Me scratching my neck is probably embarrassing. Me eating these donuts are probably embarrassing. George and them glasses are probably embarrassing.
Well, you have to
That
realize
haircut is
too,
embarrassing.
you're not dealing
That
with one.
Christmas tree is embarrassing.
You're not dealing with one person. You're dealing with two. What I'm saying
I just
is,
don't see how.
What I'm saying is, I don't know whether it's one person's idea or both the people's idea. If that makes any sense.
When I seen all 3 videos, I said these bitches got this plan together. They're both up to no good. That was my gut feeling.
No.
Both of them look shady. Something.
It basically
I said
is
this
a consensus
is
because technically, I mean, is it possible that one like says, oh, let's do this, and the other guy's a pushover, it's possible. Again, I'm not saying who's who, but point
Hell
being
yeah, I'm gonna
is
pimp him out.
either way, it's a consensus regardless of what we think.
Man, shit goes down and Social Security disappears. I'll be sucking duck for eggs here, man. Just like they talk about when them food stamps run out. Be sucking duck for eggs only, man. Eggs and rice. At least George will.
Wait, what?
They drop Social Security, and I'm gonna be running a freak show here. I'm gonna have the cats performing upstairs in one bedroom with lava lamps and red lights. I'm gonna be running a cam show throughout this whole goddamn house. When it's on, it's on. We're gonna call it the House of Freaks, and I'm gonna be running 24-hour freak shows in every room. I'm gonna have strobe lights, everything else. I'm gonna put you in one room too.
That's putting a new definition. The pussy was loose.
For a new song. Right?
Man, that pussy was loose. Her? No, the cat.
All that hair and not completely gray, well aged well. Yeah, I'm not sure which. Oh, talking
Oh
about
no,
the
no, no. Him.
guy.
No, but that was the first one. But the other one, it was gray. Yeah.
Them were
So
only a few months apart, man.
well, yeah. He probably colored it. Yeah.
I still don't think the guy is 65 either, but I
It's
could be
possible,
wrong.
but
I
at
mean,
50, your hair's turning gray. Some of us,
well,
anyway.
remember he changed his age right there with the vlogger. He said that he gave the age at 45 at 19 or something, and then he said I am 62, and then a little bit down he said he was 65. So it changed. So yeah, 19. Yeah. Yeah, so if it was, then yes, he would be 64. So he said he came in 19 years ago, said he was 45, but he said he was 62 earlier. But I say that all the time. I'll say I'm 51, and so
In
I guess you could
Vietnam,
be
he
up.
was 19, and then 19,
Guys,
19.
there's
In
Cookie. My
Vietnam, he was
neighbor died
19.
this week from cancer, and he was 56 years old. Oh, sorry to hear about that. That is really young. It's really young. Yeah, Bookham Dano said call. The average life expectancy of a male is 75, and he wants to wait till 70. Yeah.
No, and that's why we say again, if you can retire, I would take it.
Especially now, guys. I'm telling you, eventually, if things keep running the way they are in America, most of those extra benefits of anything, and they're going to consider Social Security a benefit, it's just going to all disappear.
Well, nothing to do with the
Maybe.
current government. I keep saying that is even doesn't matter who's
We're
in
not talking about a
charge.
loss.
Is the point is, are you sure that Social Security will still exist when you retire? And
Here's my deal. It doesn't matter if it was paid in or not. Now, the response to shutting down Social Security, whether it's Democrat or Republican, they could always shut the program down.
no, they could, and I've said that way
What's going on now, you
before.
wouldn't have thought. I get the food stamp thing, but the air traffic controllers, the employees not being paid, everybody. So, in other words, never trust that program
No,
will
I've
run
said that
another
ever
month.
since I've known Heidi,
It
and
could
that
just
was
go.
before
It
Biden.
doesn't matter. Is there going to be a whole riot over that shit? Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is never just yeah. And
No.
but this guy had a chance. He blew all of his money. That's my problem. And to wait, none of it's adding up. That's why we cover certain things like
we
this. Something's
assume
not
he
adding up.
blew his money. We assume. We don't know.
Why
Hopefully
he hasn't.
not.
No,
but
he said he did. That money he brought was not a payout. That was his payment that he had in the banks and stuff. Maybe that's where the 120,000 came from, was a payout. Maybe that's what
maybe to get a lump sum again, but we don't know.
Who knows? The Braun guy might Elliot him for showing out. Yeah, dang.
Dang.
Yep, it's probably because they put it on social media. Yeah, that's probably more than likely.
No, it's possible that they ex-nayed him because he put it out on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a period 93 to 01 to 12 to 18 whereby the active duty person could retire 15. So that's got to be what he was talking about because he had put the 16. So, yeah, was that a lump sum allowed on that or he got to take?
No, see, that's the thing.
So it's either lump
he
sum
could take it at lump sum
or they get.
and that's I think he took the lump sum. I think I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because he said when he got here or when he started, see, that's where the story changes again now that I think about it, because he said he never left the Philippines. Once he got here, he never left. That was his word. Never went back to America, never went anywhere. But according to him, he was still receiving payments for the contracts in Saudi or Dubai or something. So that doesn't make any sense. He said he was still receiving payments, he was still getting a salary. See, something's not right. He said he's still, because he said, the vlogger said, "Did you actually keep working when you got here?" He said, "Yes." But so there you go again. He said he never left, but he said maybe he just never went back to America. Maybe he went from here over there. So I don't know. Yeah, it's like, it's kind of, yeah. He will be deported as an undesirable. Yeah. This is one of the things you get deported for. Yeah. The only resident permanent is SRRV. No,
No.
no. My 13A is permanent.
13A is permanent as
Yeah.
long as you guys are married.
And here's the thing is, I thought about it, that let's say he had his passport and he had everything in line and was paying, a lot of people would say because his wife's not living there, he would lose status. As long as she's not reporting him, people can live in separate houses and still be married and still hold
Yeah,
status.
no.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
broke up expats
Heidi's
living
married.
in multi
Yeah.
houses.
Heidi's married to a Filipino, which again, it is a permanent visa.
Yeah.
Now, for instance, in China, if you're married a Chinese resident, that you have the option to become a citizen. Now, in the Philippines, you don't have that option. However, your 13A is permanent as long as you pay it.
Well, it's the same with the SRV. There's a yearly fee
Right,
of
right. That's the point. You still
385
have
or
to
something.
pay it.
There
Yeah.
was still,
But what I'm saying is, that's the best way to explain it. Like in other
yeah,
countries, you have the option to become a
that is true.
a citizen and stop paying every year.
Second one, you need to go sit
But
down.
the Philippines, you have to keep paying it, but it's still a permanent
Yeah,
visa.
Boca
No,
Piano. Yeah, that's
no
what they
permanent,
said in
no
Panay.
permanent visa is free. You still have to pay a monthly fee. Yes.
Yeah, so they did go through and say
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I love living. Well, let's see how that works for you in another 10, 15 years. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know. I mean, I thought about it. There's just too many reasons not to
it's
right
catch
now.
22. There. Well, I would depends on peace and quiet. It varies.
They're burning trash.
Well, that's fine. Well, see, that's the thing. They do that in the province too. You know.
Yeah, I get
Actually, they
it.
do it more in the province. But anyway, because
I know, but
what I'm saying is, for example, when we were in Mexico, just an example, because it applies here too. Um, Grab, or Grab again. If I guess it would be in the U.S. would be like what? Uber Eats, I guess. Oh wow. Okay, so for
yeah,
example,
they weren't even playing
you can be a
around.
place in.
Look at that. Our whole corner lot across the street is totally on fire, brushing against that political guy's house, and nobody says anything.
Yeah. So what I'm
That's
saying is
crazy.
again, if you live in BF, as a segment says, if you're really living in BF, there is no Grab. They're not gonna deliver to you. There is no
Okay.
Uber Eats. Get it? And
Makes
trust
sense.
me, trust me. Uber Eats or Grab here makes a difference. Trust me, it does.
It does, because I was telling them that sometimes you go to the family's house for at least the day. And when you're doing that or you're out with your friends,
Well,
I
not
said,
only
I'm here
that,
50% by myself
even
most of
if
the
I was
time.
here, I mean, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry to the Grab guys or the Uber Eats guys. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, imagine here the storms. It's raining, downpouring, really bad. I don't want to go out there. Heidi doesn't want to go out
During
there.
certain times of the day,
Yeah.
you need stuff
So
for the
guess
house.
what?
And it is
You know,
better that way.
you order it,
I
and
hate to
then
say
they're rain or shine, they're there.
I was telling them that give or take, it's only a few extra US dollars to have things delivered, the tip, the fees, and everything.
Right.
If you buy $15 worth of groceries in the US, you're going to pay $20 just to have them
Right.
delivered and a tip and everything. Here, it is really
In
inexpensive.
the middle of the night, like say like 1 o'clock in the morning. There are some places that are open that you can order from. And guess what? That's probably not a good time for you, expat, to be out
Right. Heidi, you're only hearing his side. Yeah, I believe him.
there.
Right? That is
Right,
true.
right.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, hey, Heidi and George, I just got here. I'll be catching up on times too. Yeah, if you guys are
Hey,
watching
Ocean Breeze.
something, believe it or not, years of messing with YouTube, watching YouTube and vlogging and doing the live streams, I never paid attention. You can do things times two and times three or whatever. But yeah, you guys can watch us on times two if we're talking too slow. Yeah, that's for sure. My tiny home has a rain collection, 55-gallon
Yeah.
drum fill
Yeah,
up simmer. Yeah, I
normally,
need,
yeah,
to
if you
add
have
more
a background
barrels.
in anything, yeah. I mean, I want to do that, but there's no reason to. Not to mention there's no place for us to do it anyway.
Yeah, we only know his first name. His name is Victor. This other vlogger has covered him several times, and he lives in Cebu, northern Cebu. But he wouldn't have been at Metro. He doesn't leave that area in that house. There's no Metro by him. He's not in. That dude is not in actual Cebu City. He's out.
Well, obviously not.
Yeah, he's out in the province. But his name is Victor.
He's in the
Yeah.
boonies.
I seen that video and I think, don't quote me, Derek took him a couple of small solar panels for his shack.
Oh, okay.
Well, he said that he actually goes in town to do some charging. So, yeah, he might. So, I need to add solars to my tiny home. No, he said he goes in town every day to charge his phone, is what I thought he said. So if he had a solar panel, maybe they just weren't charged up,
Well,
and that's what he
here's the
charged his phone.
thing.
Solar panels, we've got two of
We
those that
have
he's got.
2 solar batteries. In fact, we don't fire up the generator anymore because they're usually enough.
Right, but an individual solar panel, maybe he's not getting enough juice in him or uses it for other things, and maybe that's why he
I
still goes in
doubt it.
town.
You can use a solar panel for any other thing. I mean, just saying.
Okay, well,
Well, what I'm saying
I'm
is,
trying to figure the story. If
no,
he did,
no,
and
no.
I
I
thought I
know
might have
that.
seen one, then why
What I'm
is he
saying
just
is, for us, no, I'm not arguing with you. What I'm saying is, for a solar panel to do anything else other than charging your phone, it has to be some considerable size solar panel.
I live in my parents' house and they have 6 in the roofs,
That's
all the
about
solar
right. Yeah.
panels.
No, that's even here in the
Raymond's like, "Yay,
Philippines. Yeah, even in the
Mary."
Philippines. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. In order for a solar panel to be of any use other than charging your battery, it has to be a considerable size solar panel.
Yeah, mine is the EcoFlow River. Yeah, that's a really nice unit. Was bought for a van, but works to keep the fridge going during power outage. Yeah, we have 2 little power battery packs, and it's
They're
enough to keep the.
amazingly good.
Yeah, I mean, for 6 to 8 hours, we can now run the internet and our tablets and charge phones, and it'll run the fan about eight
A
hours.
full
So
size fan, it'll run it well, more than 8 hours, I
no, it was eight.
guess.
No, it was that one battery pack to that did. It's because these items,
No,
I
no, no.
guess,
I
won't.
mean, did you run it
Yes, I
longer than?
did. No, that
No,
was
I
it.
mean, did the battery die? I don't think it did. That's what I'm saying. I think it lasts longer.
Actually, it did.
It
I
did
think
die?
it's seven and
So
a
it was
half,
8
eight.
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
okay.
at
So it was
that.
8
Because
hours.
I told you I struggled at the end the last time, and then I had to go down to the battery pack.
Okay.
So
So
yeah, because it individually needs that for the. So, but no, they're, I don't know, $100 each. I keep
yeah.
hearing.
So yeah, no, they're definitely worth at least the internet. And I'm not talking about phone internet. We're talking about like actual high speed internet. That's what the battery packs are for.
Oh, Victoria's asking how your mom and uncle and all them are doing. How's your family?
Oh, thanks for asking. We're okay. My mom's still coping. She's very sad, and so am I. Actually, it took me. Actually, I had a little project. I just showed Heidi that I just did it, and the fact that I just did that tells you that I'm still kind of like in a slump. And just to let you guys know, I haven't played Call of Duty since my dad died, so if that tells you anything.
Yeah, he's a real gamer, so
So I still haven't. Um. So hopefully I'll get out of my rut if that makes any sense. So
yeah.
no, really, I do think about it. Like sometimes I want to play, but I'm just too sad. You know what I mean.
That's hard. I told you it's gonna be a long time.
I'm
So
still sad, and I think about him every day, and it's just you know.
yeah, and after they pass, it's harder. It's really hard because then you can't talk anymore to them. You wish you would have done more. You want to change things you did as a kid, and you can't take any of that back.
Yeah,
So
no, and I just showed Heidi, like I said, the project I had, and it's just, I just have to move on. You know. Thank you for asking. Appreciate it.
he sounds like a dropped soup sandwich, a mess. He could have been an administrative separation in a military if he just a mess while in. Oh, that he was a mess. Yeah. Yep, not for you. Second one said there are no grab or pandas. The Yeah, I'm really happy that we actually
Yeah,
have them
and
here because, like I said, I'm usually here about 50%, and instead of like we'll do landers or order landers online, and when there's hot days, rainy days, or we just don't feel good, we've used over energy for everything else. Yeah, why not for a few dollars let them bring it in, and it still keeps people in a job to an extent.
yeah, well,
So
it's kind of like again, it's more of a convenience thing. It's not necessarily like some of you cook, and for example,
love you
you're
too,
missing that
Jojo.
little tiny key ingredient,
Aw,
and you're
he
like,
said
"Damn it,
loves
I
you.
don't have, yeah, I don't have this," and then you just place your order for that one little thing that you
It
need, and
does happen,
they
yeah.
show up.
Yeah.
It's just a very big giant convenience. And again, here's the thing that I always say: if a
Yeah.
Grab or Panda or Uber can't get to you, an ambulance cannot
You're
get to
right.
you either.
Hey, Lucka, that was what I was just showing you earlier, was right across a lot, man. I ain't fucking playing with that. And here's the thing. I said to myself, if there's any noise, if they're doing that, then you move. That is the answer in the Philippines, is you have to move. That's why a lot of people have asked us about permanently going and buying a condo, putting something down and making payments or whatever, because I wouldn't consider building from scratch. It would have to be something like, it's because it's too permanent. What if we needed to move a few blocks, from the hospital? Although we're close enough now, what I'm saying is, what if we had to because we it was needed all the time, or it's just too permanent our age to actually purchase, but it's moving. And then the other part is I've been getting up at 4 a.m. here lately. And sometimes I open the front door and I'll sit there and be watching something. I'm like, that might be disturbing the neighbor. I don't have it turned up really loud. And I'm like, well, I guess they'll move. I mean, because it's kind of like I was just kind of like, oh well. So it's because nobody else. They karaoke. All the different neighbors all have their days, and I think everybody just kind of gets along in this neighborhood. But the it's saying to now, yeah, I was gonna pull that video up again, but yeah, they've been burning, and it was kind of crazy the other day because that's what I was showing is the entire lot is, look at it. That is a quarter of the lot on fire over there, right up against the political guy's house, and that's people's houses behind there. And there were ashes in the air. You can kind of see them in front of the camera. Uh, I guess you can't. Just a minute ago, you seen some, but it gets kind of crazy. But like George said, if they don't burn it, then you've got the rats and animals over there eating old dead trash, and it's just not good to have it sitting around either. So it's kind of a twisted thing, but um, yeah, let's see. Somebody else was saying something. Memories are always good. Yeah, you got to live on the good memories and everything. And it's been tough. I told you guys, me taking on more of the live streams. George has become more and more busy helping with his uncle and visiting grandkid and family. And I'm not going to always run out. I'm a home person. I got things to do here too. And it's something I wouldn't have been doing in the US. I'm pretty much living my life like I would in the US, and um it's one day at a time, and George does the visiting with this family, and he's been where he's been like this, where he gets it's very upsetting. It is. I get it. I get losing. Like when my grandparents passed, my mom passed away at 50 years old, and I was in my 30s when it happened. Actually, I was under 30, but it is kind of. I get it. So you just kind of get out and do your thing. Um, let's see. I was thinking about our next live. Our next live is going to be Wednesday. We're going to do our Halloween thing on Wednesday, which, what is that, the 30th here?
I don't know.
Unless you're wanting to switch it to another day.
Yeah, just real quick again. A week
Yeah,
before,
Friday's the 31st.
yeah, a week before Halloween here in the Philippines. A week before, well, Halloween here again. It's All Souls Day, All Saints Day, November 1, November 2. But a week before that, here in Angeles City, there's something called like a tigtigan, which is like tigtigan means when you know you play music. That's what it means. So it's a concert that they use up MacArthur Highway. They put up a stage on MacArthur Highway, and that's why So what I'm getting at is, if you live in Angeles City, the week before, the weekend before, what do you call it? Halloween, don't make any plans at night unless you're going to the Tigtigan if you live in Angeles City, because MacArthur Highway is usually blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of drinking, obviously, in public. So, just to let you guys know, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the roads are still blocked up until probably around, my guess, be about 10, 11, 11, not even 10, probably 11 to 12. That's when at noon on Saturday morning, that's when they start opening up.
Well, okay. My question is Friday's officially Halloween here in the Philippines, and then Saturday would be officially for the US.
Yeah.
So Wednesday would only be what, like the 29th. So I'm asking you, are you coming Friday or Saturday? One second. Yeah. So when you're done with your uncle, are you going to do the live? Because on Saturdays he's with his uncle. So are you going to come back here?
Well, what time are we doing the live?
There at 9. Yeah, because usually stuff on the
Should be
weekends is with
okay.
his uncle. That's what I'm trying to figure
Should be
is he going
okay.
to drive back over? So Halloween is just big in the US. Their front lawn decorations are just amazing. I've been watching that pumpkin carving thing on Netflix where they do all that stuff. Well, okay, so I'm totally missing. All right, guys. So Friday or Saturday, make sure they'll probably when we do the Halloween where we'll dress up and do some crazy stuff and cover that Rafi Tulfo of that. There's I think they're father and son. I think they both either got scammed by two different women or both by the same woman they were sharing. Something happened, but I definitely want to cover that. So we'll cover that. So I just wanted to figure if you were going to, you know, excuse me, make room for having that covered. So, all right, guys. Hey, Ruby, what's going on? Hi, hi. Take care, Lucka. Thank you for everybody
Yeah, thanks
being
so
in
much, guys.
here. Thank you so much. And thank you, Thomas, so much for the sticker. And thank you to our members that are actually in here. Sarah, hey.
Who's that?
Lucka. That is Thomas. It's they don't actually say
Oh, that's Thomas.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Thomas.
number one is Thomas. Number two, top commenters is Thomas. Second win,
Second
and
win.
Papa in the Philippines.
Isn't it weird that they don't actually show their names?
And thank you
next
so
to-
much for our contributions. I believe it was Thomas, right?
Yeah, Thomas. Second Wind.
Yeah, thanks
Benny
so
was
much,
in
Thomas Smith.
here.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, guys. I will be Wednesday, and then, like I said, Friday or Saturday, we'll get George to try to return early to get to the live streams.
Yeah.
So
And last comment, although just important thing, because this is actually part of what me and Heidi were talking before the live. And a lot of times in the province, they don't have trash services. They burn their trash.
yeah, no, I'm aware.
Yeah, and that's what Second Wind's saying, that since he's out in the middle of nowhere, he burns his own trash. So just let you guys know. So let that be a lesson to you, whether for good or for bad. I'm just letting you guys know.
Right. All right, guys. We'll see you in a few days.
Bye, guys.
And we should hit
Thank you.
25,000 by then. We thought we would hit it today. So